Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Every decision you've ever made, every turn your life has taken, was not random. It was guided by laws so old and so hidden that most people never even learn they exist. These are not the laws written in books or spoken in classrooms. These are the invisible rules that shape energy, reality, and destiny itself. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract opportunities effortlessly while others struggle endlessly? Why some awaken each day with clarity and power while others are trapped in cycles of fear and limitation? The answer lies not in luck, but in alignment with these secret teachings. The universe is not silent. It speaks in vibrations, in thoughts, in the subtle patterns of your mind. Every belief you hold, every word you whisper, every frequency you emit, all of it commands reality to respond. And when you sleep, when the conscious mind rests, the doorway to your true transformation opens. That is when the subconscious listens, learns, and rewrites the script of your life. This audiobook is not here to entertain you. It is here to awaken you, to reveal the hidden principles that have been whispered across centuries, guarded by mystics, philosophers, and seekers of truth. If you choose to listen closely, you will not leave the same person who pressed play. The question is, are you ready to let go of the illusions you've been taught and step into the deeper reality that was always waiting for you? Chapter 1. The Hidden Laws That Shape Your Reality. There are laws in the universe that are not written in books or carved into stone, yet they govern every step of your existence. These are the invisible principles that shape energy, guide destiny, and determine why some lives flourish while others remain trapped in struggle. They are hidden not because they are secret, but because most people never slow down long enough to see them. The moment you begin to notice, reality itself starts to shift before your eyes. The first hidden law is that thought is creative. Every belief you carry, whether empowering or destructive, becomes a seed planted in the field of the universe. What you consistently think, you eventually live. People imagine they are victims of chance, but in truth, they are harvesters of their own thoughts. When you change the quality of your inner dialogue, you change the quality of your external world. Energy is another law that silently shapes your life. Every emotion has a vibration. Joy expands, fear contracts, love attracts, anger repels. You may not always see it instantly, but energy is magnetic, and it draws to you experiences that match your state. This is why, when you are anxious, you seem to meet more obstacles, and when you are grateful, blessings appear unexpectedly. The law of energy is always at work. The universe also responds to the law of attention. Whatever you consistently focus on grows stronger in your life. Focus on problems, and they multiply. Focus on solutions, and possibilities open. Attention is like sunlight. Wherever it is directed, growth follows. Most people scatter their light across hundreds of distractions and then wonder why nothing grows. A clear focus plants deep roots. Another hidden law is the law of balance. Everything in the universe seeks harmony. Night balances day, tides rise and fall, life gives and takes. When you resist balance, life corrects you through lessons. When you align with balance, you flow with ease. This is why chasing only gain without gratitude or giving endlessly without rest leads to exhaustion. Balance restores power to your actions. The law of cause and effect is ancient, yet often ignored. Every action carries a consequence, seen or unseen. You cannot plant bitterness and expect joy, nor spread fear and expect peace. Life returns to you what you send out, sometimes magnified, sometimes delayed, but always precise. The wise know that this law is not punishment, but instruction, showing you how to create a better reality. A hidden but profound law is the law of resonance. You attract not what you want, but what you are. If your inner world is heavy with self-doubt, you will meet experiences that confirm it. If your heart radiates trust, you will draw people and opportunities aligned with trust. Resonance is like a mirror. It reflects your inner state into the outer world. Change within, and the reflection shifts without. The law of rhythm also governs your journey. Life moves in cycles, seasons of growth, seasons of stillness, seasons of challenge, and seasons of reward. When you resist these cycles, you suffer. When you honor them, you find peace. Just as winter prepares the soil for spring, your quiet seasons prepare you for harvest. Bold living is not about fighting rhythms, but dancing with them. There is also the law of alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions point in the same direction, the universe amplifies your strength. Misalignment, however, weakens you, like a wheel turning in opposite directions. Clarity unites your energy, and boldness turns that unity into results. Alignment transforms scattered effort into unstoppable momentum. The law of polarity reminds us that everything has its opposite. Light and dark, joy and sorrow, gain and loss. These opposites are not enemies, but teachers. Without darkness, you would not appreciate light. Without challenge, you would not value ease. Polarity is not punishment, but perspective, helping you grow by contrast. The law of detachment is another secret that few master. When you cling desperately to outcomes, you create tension that blocks flow. But when you release the need to control, you open the doorway for greater possibilities. Detachment is not apathy, it is trust that the universe will bring what is meant for you when you are ready. Freedom lives in letting go. A powerful law is the law of intention. Every action you take carries an underlying energy. Two people can perform the same task, but if one acts with love and the other with resentment, the outcomes will differ. Intention colors action, shaping how it returns to you. When your intentions are pure, the universe multiplies their power. The law of service whispers that you rise by lifting others. When your actions are aligned with contribution, you tap into a current larger than yourself. Life rewards service not because of obligation, but because giving expands you. Contribution transforms selfish ambition into universal harmony. Another hidden law is the law of clarity. The universe responds to decisiveness. Indecision sends mixed signals, creating confusion both within and without. When you are clear in desire and committed in choice, paths unfold. Clarity is magnetic, and it pulls reality into alignment with your decision. The law of preparation often hides in plain sight. Success is not only about action, but about readiness. When you prepare your mind, your environment, and your habits, opportunities recognize you as a match. What looks like sudden luck is often unseen preparation finally meeting its moment. The law of gratitude is among the simplest yet most transformative. Gratitude shifts your vibration instantly. It turns scarcity into abundance, complaint into contentment, and fear into trust. Gratitude does not ignore reality. It transforms it by revealing the hidden blessings already present. The law of perspective reminds you that events are neutral until you give them meaning. The same setback can be seen as failure or as guidance. The mind assigns labels, but perspective decides whether you rise or sink. A clear mind chooses empowering perspectives, and boldness acts on them. The law of consistency shapes destiny. Small, repeated actions build momentum, and momentum shapes identity. Overthinking interrupts progress, but consistency dissolves doubt. When you act regularly, you build trust in yourself, and the universe aligns with your rhythm. The final hidden law is the law of possibility. The universe is infinite, and so are the paths before you. Limitation is not in reality, but in perception. When you expand your belief, you expand your options. Boldness is born from seeing possibility where others see walls. All of these hidden laws work together, silently, tirelessly, whether or not you believe in them. To live with a clear mind and bold action is to recognize these laws and align yourself with them. They are not here to bind you, but to free you, showing you that reality is not random, but responsive. The universe waits not for your doubt, but for your alignment. Chapter 2. The Power of Frequency and Vibration. Everything in existence vibrates. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, all matter is in constant motion. Even thoughts and emotions carry frequency, invisible yet powerful. The universe itself is not silent. It hums with energy, and every human being is a tuning fork within it. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly sending out signals that shape your reality. The power of frequency lies in resonance. When your energy matches a certain vibration, you naturally attract experiences, people, and opportunities that vibrate at the same level. This is why negativity seems to attract more negativity, and why gratitude multiplies blessings. You are always broadcasting, and life is always responding to the channel you've tuned into. Your emotions are frequencies in motion. Fear, anger, and guilt vibrate at lower frequencies, while love, joy, and peace resonate at higher ones. The state you dwell in most often becomes the environment you live in. Raise your emotions, and you raise your entire experience of life. The body itself responds to vibration. Scientific studies have shown how sound frequencies can heal or harm, calm, or agitate. Ancient cultures knew this well, using chants, mantras, and music to align human energy with the rhythms of the cosmos. What you listen to and surround yourself with is not entertainment alone. It is energetic nourishment. Thoughts are vibrations too. A repeated thought sends waves into the unseen field around you. Over time, those thoughts gather momentum, shaping beliefs and then reality. This is why affirmations, visualization, and mental focus are powerful tools. They are not empty rituals, but vibrational reprogramming of your life. Frequency explains why environments matter. Step into a place filled with chaos, and you feel drained. Step into a space filled with beauty or calm, and you feel lifted. The environment holds vibrations that your body and mind absorb. Choosing your surroundings carefully is choosing your frequency carefully. Vibration is also contagious. Emotions spread like ripples. Spend time with people filled with despair, and you will feel heavier. Surround yourself with people radiating courage, and your spirit rises. Energy is shared silently, often more powerfully than words. Protecting your energy means choosing wisely who you allow into your circle. The universe is an orchestra of vibrations, and you are both an instrument and a listener. The way you think, speak, and act either harmonizes with this orchestra or creates discord. When you are in harmony, doors open effortlessly. When you are in dissonance, life feels like resistance. Raising your vibration requires conscious choice. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to elevate energy. A grateful heart vibrates at a frequency that dissolves fear and scarcity. Likewise, kindness, forgiveness, and joy all tune you into higher states where abundance naturally flows. Frequency is not about pretending everything is positive. It's about choosing where to place your focus and how to respond to challenges. Even in pain, you can choose perspectives that lift rather than crush you. This doesn't deny reality. It transforms it. The foods you eat carry vibration. Fresh, natural, living foods carry higher energy, while processed, lifeless foods vibrate lower. The body feels the difference. When you nourish yourself with high vibrational food, your thoughts and emotions naturally rise as well. Vibration also flows through speech. Words are sound waves that carry energy beyond their meaning. Harsh words cut deeply, not only because of their content, but because of their vibration. Gentle, uplifting words heal because they resonate with higher frequencies. What you say shapes not only others' reality but your own. Silence has its frequency too. In stillness, you align with the subtler vibrations of the universe. Meditation is powerful because it quiets the noise of lower states and tunes you into the deeper harmony always present. Silence is not emptiness, it is resonance with the infinite. Music is one of the purest forms of vibrational influence. A single song can shift your mood, inspire action, or bring tears. Cultures across history have used drums, flutes, and chants to heal, celebrate, and connect with the divine. Choosing music consciously is choosing the energy you allow into your soul. The law of vibration also explains synchronicity. When you raise your frequency, you notice patterns, opportunities, and connections appearing by chance. But they are not chance. They are resonance. You become magnetic to the experiences aligned with your vibration. Every challenge you face is an invitation to shift frequency. Problems look different when seen from a higher state. At low vibration, obstacles feel impossible. At higher vibration, those same obstacles look like stepping stones. The external may not change instantly, but your perspective and response create a different outcome. Vibration is not linear, it fluctuates daily. What matters is not perfection, but direction. If you catch yourself sinking into lower states, awareness gives you the power to rise again. Each choice, to forgive, to breathe, to be grateful, is a tuning of your frequency. Healing, too, is vibrational. Emotional wounds are stored energy patterns in the body. By facing them, forgiving and releasing, you raise your energy. Holding on to resentment lowers it. Healing is less about forgetting the past and more about raising the vibration of how you carry it. The universe is generous to those aligned with its frequency. Bold ideas, creative inspiration, and solutions flow effortlessly when your energy is high. At low vibration, you block this flow, doubting yourself and missing opportunities. Raising vibration opens you to universal intelligence. Your sleep is also vibrational. When you rest deeply, your body recalibrates its energy. Dreams, healing, and subconscious reprogramming all occur at these frequencies. This is why listening while you sleep to uplifting words or music can transform you. The subconscious is most open in those hours. Frequency explains attraction in relationships. You don't only connect with people through appearance or words, you connect through energy. Two people in similar vibrations feel an unspoken harmony. When frequencies clash, disconnection appears even if everything looks fine on the surface. Nature is one of the purest teachers of vibration. The sound of waves, the whisper of leaves, the stillness of mountains, all radiate frequencies that calm and uplift the mind. Spending time in nature resets your vibration without effort. It is alignment with the natural rhythm of life. Technology, too, has frequency. Constant exposure to noise, screens, and chaotic media lowers energy. When you consume unconsciously, you let external vibrations dictate your internal state. Choosing carefully what you allow through your senses is vital to protecting your frequency. Intuition is vibrational communication. It is your body and mind sensing frequencies beyond logic. Gut feelings, sudden insights, or an inner knowing are all signs of vibrational alignment. The clearer your energy, the sharper your intuition becomes. Frequency shapes destiny. What you repeatedly vibrate, you eventually live. Life is not only about effort, it is about energy. Effort without aligned energy feels like struggle. Aligned energy makes effort lighter and results greater. You are not separate from the universe. You are part of its symphony. Every thought, feeling, and action is a note you add. The quality of your note determines the harmony of your life. Living consciously means choosing your vibration wisely. Raising your frequency requires discipline but rewards you with freedom. freedom from constant worry, from cycles of negativity, from the heaviness of overthinking. High vibration lifts you into clarity, joy, and purposeful action. The power of frequency and vibration is the foundation of transformation. You cannot live boldly with a heavy energy, but when you raise your vibration, boldness flows naturally. Your reality transforms, not because the world changes, but because you vibrate in a way that calls in new possibilities. Ultimately, the universe is less a place of things and more a field of vibrations. When you understand this, you stop struggling to force life and start aligning with it. Alignment creates flow, and in flow, life unfolds with grace. Chapter 3. Awakening the Subconscious Mind. The subconscious mind is the hidden architect of your life. While the conscious mind makes plans and decisions, it is the subconscious that silently executes them in the background. It holds your beliefs, memories, habits, and identity, shaping reality without you even realizing it. Awakening it is the key to transforming your destiny. From the moment you were born, your subconscious has been recording everything, every word spoken to you, every environment you lived in, every belief passed down by parents and society. All of it became programming. Much of what you think is you is simply the echo of subconscious patterns running on repeat. The subconscious works like fertile soil. Whatever seeds are planted, whether empowering or destructive, will grow. The conscious mind is the gardener, but once a seed enters the subconscious, it takes root and bears fruit. Awakening the subconscious means learning to plant deliberately instead of unconsciously. One of the most powerful truths is that the subconscious does not judge. It accepts whatever you feed it. If you repeat, "I am weak," it believes you. If you repeat, "I am strong," it believes that too. This neutrality is both a danger and a gift. It means you must choose your inputs wisely. Habits are the language of the subconscious. Every repeated action bypasses conscious effort and becomes automatic. This is why bad habits feel so hard to break. They are not just choices, but deeply ingrained programs. But the same principle creates empowering habits when you practice them consistently. The subconscious speaks in images and feelings, not words. Visualization is powerful because it communicates directly in the language the subconscious understands. When you imagine success vividly and emotionally, your subconscious begins to treat it as real, guiding your actions toward making it so. Dreams are the doorway to the subconscious. When the conscious mind rests in sleep, the subconscious continues its work. This is why listening to affirmations, mantras, or wisdom during sleep can bypass resistance and reshape inner programming. Night is not just for rest, it is for reprogramming. Fear, too, is stored in the subconscious. Traumas, rejections, and painful moments embed themselves as protective programs. They may have served you once, but left unexamined, they become cages. Awakening the subconscious requires courage to face these shadows and rewrite them with new truth. The subconscious is also the source of intuition. Those gut feelings and inner nudges are your deeper mind recognizing patterns before the conscious mind can. Awakening it sharpens intuition, making your decisions faster, wiser, and more aligned. The subconscious thrives on repetition. Just as repeated negative thoughts create anxiety, repeated positive affirmations create confidence. The subconscious does not respond instantly. It learns slowly but permanently. Consistent repetition is the key to lasting transformation. Awakening the subconscious begins with awareness. Notice the automatic thoughts that surface daily. Pay attention to recurring patterns in relationships, finances, or self-image. These are not random. They are the fingerprints of subconscious programming guiding your life. Belief is the foundation of the subconscious. What you truly believe, not what you hope or wish, determines what you experience. Awakening it means examining beliefs you inherited without question and replacing them with beliefs that empower you. The subconscious is also deeply influenced by emotion. A single emotional event can imprint more strongly than years of repetition. This is why breakthroughs often happen during powerful emotional experiences. The subconscious becomes open and impressionable. Affirmations alone are not enough unless they are felt. The subconscious absorbs what is charged with emotion. Saying, "I am confident," flatly may change little, but saying it with energy, vision, and consistency rewires identity. Emotion is the doorway. The subconscious is your autopilot. It handles breathing, heartbeat, digestion, and countless functions without conscious effort. But it also runs your psychological autopilot, the way you respond to stress, handle challenges, or interpret events. Awakening it means taking back the wheel. Childhood is when the subconscious is most open. Until about age 7, children absorb without filters, believing everything as truth. Many of your current struggles are echoes of childhood beliefs that were never questioned. Awakening requires revisiting and healing that foundation. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for awakening the subconscious. By quieting conscious chatter, you reach deeper levels of awareness where programming can be observed and reshaped. Silence is not emptiness, it is access to the hidden mind. The subconscious can be trained through symbols and rituals. Cultures have long used sacred symbols, mantras, and ceremonies to impress truths upon the deeper mind. When repeated with intention, these practices bypass logic and anchor beliefs deeply. Self-image is the subconscious mirror. How you truly see yourself determines how you act. If your subconscious sees you as small, you will sabotage opportunities. If it sees you as capable, you will rise to challenges. Awakening it means redrawing your inner image. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. This is why athletes, performers, and leaders use visualization before events. Their subconscious rehearses success until the body follows. Imagination is rehearsal for reality. Fear of failure often lives in the subconscious. Even if your conscious mind says, "I want success," a subconscious belief may whisper, "I don't deserve it." Awakening requires confronting these hidden contradictions and replacing them with alignment. The subconscious is influenced by environment. The books you read, the voices you hear, the spaces you inhabit, all seep into the deeper mind. Awakening it means curating your environment with as much care as your thoughts. Language shapes the subconscious. Words repeated often enough, whether from you or others, carve grooves in the mind. This is why labels, insults, or affirmations have lasting power. Awakening it means reclaiming the narrative with empowering language. The subconscious does not operate in time the way the conscious mind does. It blends past, present, and future into a single experience. This is why unhealed wounds from years ago can still feel alive today. Awakening requires healing old scripts to free the present. The subconscious responds to suggestion. Hypnosis, guided meditation, or even simple relaxation open the door for new programming. Suggestion bypasses resistance and plants seeds that grow silently. This is why leaders, advertisers, and storytellers all aim to reach it. The subconscious magnifies what you give attention to. If you focus on fear, it creates more reasons to fear. If you focus on abundance, it reveals opportunities for growth. Awakening it means directing attention consciously instead of letting it wander aimlessly. Self-sabotage is often subconscious. You may consciously want success, but unconsciously fear it. This contradiction creates behaviors that pull you back. Awakening means aligning conscious desire with subconscious belief. The subconscious thrives on images. Vision boards, affirmations with visuals, or even simple mental pictures influence it deeply. The clearer the image, the stronger the impression. This is why visualization practices are so effective. The subconscious does not debate, it obeys. If you say, "I can't," it limits you. If you say, "I will," it begins aligning reality. Words repeated often enough become commands to the deeper mind. Awakening means learning to command wisely. Awakening the subconscious also means protecting it. Movies, news, and conversations plant seeds whether you notice or not. Guarding what enters your subconscious is as important as planting deliberately. Every input leaves an imprint. Healing the subconscious requires forgiveness. Resentment chains you to old stories. Forgiveness releases those chains, rewriting the subconscious script. It is not about excusing others, but about freeing yourself. The subconscious is a powerful manifester. What it holds long enough eventually materializes because energy aligns with belief. Awakening it means choosing deliberately what to hold: abundance instead of lack, courage instead of fear, trust instead of doubt. Awakening also requires patience. The subconscious does not change overnight. Seeds planted today take time to grow. But just as you don't dig up a seed daily to check it, trust that the deeper mind is reshaping silently. The subconscious is most open in states of relaxation. This is why practices like deep breathing, meditation, or even daydreaming are powerful. Relaxation lowers resistance, making space for new programming. Every breakthrough begins in the subconscious. Before you act differently, you must think differently. Before you think differently, you must reprogram the deeper mind. Action follows belief, and belief lives in the subconscious. Awakening the subconscious is awakening your true power. It is realizing that your destiny is not controlled by chance or by external forces, but by the beliefs planted within you. When you master the subconscious, you master the foundation of reality. Finally, the subconscious is not your enemy, but your ally. It has been protecting you, even when its methods are outdated. Awakening it is not about fighting it, but befriending it, guiding it gently with love, clarity, and repetition. Once awakened, it becomes your greatest partner in transformation. Chapter 4. Ancient Wisdom in a Modern World. Wisdom is timeless. Long before books, screens, and machines, humans looked to the stars, the rivers, and the silence of nature for guidance. What they found still speaks to us today. Principles of life that never expire. While the world has changed in form, the essence of living has not. Ancient wisdom offers clarity where modern noise confuses. One teaching from the ancients is the value of stillness. In cultures across the world, silence was sacred. People meditated, prayed, or simply listened to the wind. In today's world, constant noise drowns the inner voice. Relearning stillness allows us to hear guidance the modern world cannot provide. Another timeless truth is respect for cycles. Ancient farmers lived by the seasons, trusting planting, waiting, and harvesting. Modern life rushes toward instant results, but growth still requires rhythm. Aligning with natural cycles of rest, effort, and renewal keeps us grounded in reality's flow. Elders once held the role of wisdom keepers. Their stories carried life lessons no book could match. Today, we often ignore the aged, chasing novelty instead. Yet listening to those who have lived longer brings perspective that shortcuts cannot provide. The old ways still hold treasures for the young. Ancient wisdom teaches reverence for nature. The sun was not just a star, but life-giver. The earth was not dirt, but mother. Modern society treats nature as resource, forgetting relationship. Returning to gratitude for nature restores balance, reminding us that we are part of her, not above her. The ancients understood the law of reciprocity: give and you shall receive, take without giving, and imbalance follows. Today's world often glorifies taking more, consuming more, demanding more. But the ancient truth remains. Harmony comes when we live as participants, not predators. Rituals carried hidden power. Lighting a candle, chanting a mantra, or gathering in circle all spoke to the subconscious mind. These rituals aligned intention with action. Today, we dismiss them as superstition, but rituals are simply structured reminders of what matters most. Bringing them back brings depth to daily life. Ancient wisdom emphasized community. Survival depended on cooperation, not competition. Modern life pushes individualism to extremes, leaving many feeling alone. But human hearts still long for connection. The old truth endures. No one thrives in isolation. We rise together. One universal teaching is the power of story. Myths, parables, and fables encoded wisdom in ways memory could hold. Today, we drown in information, yet lack wisdom. Stories still reach where facts cannot, into the soul. Ancient storytelling remains a guide to modern transformation. The ancients honored the sacredness of breath. In yoga, in prayer, in meditation, breath was life force, not just air. Today, people breathe shallowly, distracted and anxious. Returning to conscious breathing brings calm, clarity, and presence. Breath is an ancient key hidden in plain sight. They also taught that knowledge without practice is empty. Wisdom was tested in life, not debated in theory. Modern education often collects information without application. Ancient wisdom reminds us that truth must be lived, not only studied. Experience is the teacher. Symbols carried deep meaning. The lotus, the spiral, the circle, each spoke of truths beyond words. Today's world is flooded with signs, but little meaning. Rediscovering symbols reawakens intuition, because the subconscious still understands what words cannot say. The ancients respected balance between body, mind, and spirit. They saw health as wholeness, not just absence of disease. Modern medicine often fragments the human being. Returning to integrated living heals more than the body. It restores the soul. Wisdom traditions everywhere spoke of humility. The wisest did not boast. They listened more than they spoke. Today, loudness often wins attention, but not truth. Humility opens the door to learning, and it remains a timeless path to growth. Ancient teachers emphasized alignment with truth. To live falsely was to create suffering. Lies, whether to self or others, fractured harmony. In a world of illusions and appearances, remembering this teaching grounds us. Clarity begins with honesty. The ancients saw gratitude as a sacred practice. Daily thanks for food, family, and life itself kept hearts open. Modern abundance often blinds us to simple blessings. Gratitude, as old as humanity, remains the fastest way to raise vibration. Dreams were honored as guidance. Shamans, mystics, and sages believed dreams carried messages from the unseen. Today, dreams are dismissed as random, yet they still reveal subconscious truths and hidden insights. The ancient practice of dream listening reconnects us with inner wisdom. They also knew the value of patience. Great pyramids, temples, and civilizations were built over generations. Today, impatience rules, demanding instant results. Ancient wisdom whispers, what is built slowly lasts longest. Endurance is a form of intelligence. The ancients taught through observation. Watch the eagle, and you learn focus. Watch the river, and you learn flow. Nature was their classroom, and it still is ours. Modern distraction hides these lessons, but they remain available to eyes willing to see. Sacred geometry revealed patterns of creation. Spirals, circles, and symmetry appeared in art, temples, and nature itself. These were not decorations, but reflections of universal laws. In a modern world of randomness, sacred patterns remind us life is intelligent design, not chaos. Wisdom traditions emphasized self-mastery. Victory was not in conquering others, but in conquering self, desires, impulses, fears. Modern life often glorifies external conquest, but the greatest victories remain internal. Ancient wisdom calls us inward. They also valued silence between words, pauses in speech, space in music, stillness between breaths. These carried meaning as much as action. Today's rush fills every gap with noise, but silence remains a teacher, shaping clarity and depth. The ancients lived with awareness of death. Rather than fearing it, they saw death as teacher, urging presence and humility. Modern culture avoids it, pretending life is endless. But remembering mortality adds urgency to live wisely. Fasting was practiced as discipline and cleansing. Beyond food, it was a ritual of focus, teaching control over appetite. Today, consumption is constant. Fasting, from food, from noise, from excess, restores clarity, echoing ancient discipline. The ancients saw life as interconnected. Tribe, nature, stars, spirit, all were woven into one. Modern fragmentation blinds us to this unity. Ancient wisdom reminds us, harming one part harms the whole. Healing one part heals the whole. Music was more than art. It was medicine. Drums aligned heartbeat, chants calmed the mind, flutes lifted the spirit. Today, music is often consumed mindlessly. Ancient wisdom invites us to remember music as sacred vibration. They also taught presence. Past and future had value, but the present was power. Modern worry scatters attention across timelines. Ancient wisdom anchors us. The present moment is the only place creation happens. The ancients recognized symbols in the sky. Constellations told stories, guiding navigation and destiny. Today, we see stars as distant rocks, but their teachings remain. The universe is a mirror of the inner self. Look up and you remember where you belong. Sacred texts were memorized, not just read. Words were embodied through repetition until they became living truth. Today, information is skimmed and forgotten. Ancient wisdom insists truth must be carved into the heart, not skimmed with the eyes. The ancients honored teachers, not as idols, but as guides. A teacher pointed the way, but the student walked it. Modern arrogance sometimes rejects guidance. Yet, humility toward teachers accelerates growth. They saw simplicity as power. The most profound truths were expressed in few words. Know thyself. As above, so below. Today's complexity often confuses. Ancient wisdom distills, reminding us that truth is simple, even if living it is hard. Sacrifice was understood as exchange, not loss. To give up lesser pleasures for greater purpose was wisdom. Today, sacrifice is avoided, but the ancients knew every choice is a trade, and wise trades create great lives. Prophecy was not fortune-telling, but deep seeing. Wise seers read patterns, cycles, and energies to understand what was coming. In a world obsessed with prediction, prophecy remains a call to insight, not superstition. They emphasize discipline of the tongue. Words could heal or destroy, bless or curse. Speech was treated as sacred. Modern chatter cheapens words, but the ancient truth remains. Speak only what uplifts, and silence when it doesn't. The ancients valued generosity. Hospitality was a sacred duty, kindness a daily practice. Modern scarcity mindset resists giving, but generosity multiplies abundance. This principle has never faded. Giving opens doors. Sacred fire symbolized transformation. Flames consumed the old and gave light to the new. Today, fire is utility, but its wisdom remains. To grow, we must burn away what no longer serves. They also honored the teacher within. Meditation, solitude, and reflection connected them to inner guidance. Today, distraction pulls us outward, but the inner teacher is still waiting. Wisdom has always been within. The ancients trusted symbols in dreams, omens in nature, whispers in intuition. They lived attuned to subtle signs. Modern life mocks these as coincidence, but synchronicity still guides those who listen. Justice to the ancients was harmony, not punishment. To restore balance was the goal. Modern systems often confuse justice with revenge. Ancient wisdom teaches true justice heals the whole. They revered the sacred union of masculine and feminine energies, strength and nurture, action and intuition. Balance between these forces created harmony. Modern life often splits them. The ancients remind us wholeness requires both. Finally, ancient wisdom carried the teaching of oneness. Beneath all differences, there is one source, one truth, one essence. Every culture, every teaching pointed to this unity. Modern divisions blind us, but the ancient truth remains. We are one with each other, with the earth, and with the universe. Chapter 5. Energy creates before matter. Everything begins as energy before it becomes form. A thought, an intention, a vibration. These are the blueprints of matter. The chair you sit on once existed as an idea. The building around you once existed as a vision. What you see is simply the final stage of what first began unseen. Energy is the architect, and matter is the construction. Yet, most people try to change their lives by moving bricks without changing the design. They push against matter, forgetting that true transformation begins in the field of energy, in belief, focus, and vibration. The ancients understood this well. They taught that the unseen is more powerful than the seen because it shapes it. Just as wind, though invisible, bends trees, energy bends matter. You may not see it, but its effects are undeniable. Thoughts carry energy that eventually crystallizes into reality. Repeated thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs sculpt action. Over time, action builds environments, relationships, and destiny. The physical world is the echo of your inner world. Every invention humanity celebrates was born in imagination first. The wheel, the printing press, the airplane, none of these appeared out of nowhere. They existed in the energy of thought before taking material form. Creation always flows from the subtle to the solid. Emotions, too, are energy that precedes matter. A business built with fear collapses under pressure. A relationship built with love endures storms. The emotional frequency you invest becomes the foundation upon which matter is built. Your body itself reflects this truth. Stress begins as energy, worry, fear, tension, long before it becomes illness. Peace begins as energy, calm, joy, trust, long before it becomes health. Energy sculpts matter silently, whether for harm or healing. Energy creates resonance, like frequencies attract, drawing experiences and people that match your state. Matter then follows. A person vibrating confidence walks into a room and opportunities unfold. A person vibrating doubt walks into the same room and doors close. Matter reflects the energy carried. Words are energy too. Spoken with conviction, they move hearts, shift perspectives, and alter the course of history. Every great speech that sparked revolutions was energy delivered through vibration, later transforming into matter. New governments, new nations, new realities. The law of energy before matter explains why visualization works. When you vividly imagine success, you are rehearsing it in energy. The subconscious accepts it as real, and soon your actions align. Matter follows the trail of energy already created in the mind. Every problem begins in energy as well. Conflict between people often starts as mistrust or resentment, unseen at first, then manifesting as arguments, distance, or even violence. Healing begins by addressing the unseen energy, not only the outer symptoms. Energy also explains the power of prayer and intention. Whether whispered in temples or silently held in hearts, intention is energy sent into the unseen. Even science shows that focused attention influences outcomes. Matter shifts when energy is deliberately directed. The universe itself began as pure energy. Science agrees that all matter emerged from a single point of explosive energy. Stars, planets, and galaxies condensed from unseen forces. The cosmic story mirrors your personal story. Your universe begins with inner energy. Matter is slow energy. What you see as solid is simply energy vibrating at a lower frequency. Understanding this dissolves the illusion of rigidity. Nothing is fixed. Everything can change when the underlying energy changes. This is why affirmations work. Words repeated with conviction plant energy in the subconscious. Over time, that energy reorders thought, behavior, and results. Matter is reprogrammed by energy whispered consistently. Energy creates patterns that repeat until transformed. Families, cultures, and societies carry energetic imprints that manifest in material conditions. Breaking free requires changing the underlying energy, not only the outer habits. Energy before matter is why gratitude is so transformative. Gratitude shifts vibration instantly. That energy then attracts matching experiences, and soon matter reflects the abundance already felt. Gratitude creates first in the unseen, then in the visible. The same is true for fear. Fear is an energy that shapes decisions, shrinking possibilities. Over time, matter reflects fear, lost chances, unfulfilled dreams, broken trust. To change outcomes, the fear must be addressed in energy first. Energy explains synchronicity. When your inner state aligns with your desired reality, coincidences unfold. The right person calls, the right opportunity appears, the timing feels perfect. Matter is simply falling into place around energy already set. Meditation reveals this truth directly. When you sit in stillness, you feel the energy beneath thought. You realize you are not just flesh and bone, but vibration and awareness. This realization empowers you to create intentionally, not accidentally. Healing modalities like Reiki, sound therapy, or breathwork also rely on this principle. They work not by rearranging matter, but by shifting energy, allowing matter to follow into balance. The unseen field shapes the visible form. Energy before matter explains the law of attraction. It is not magic, it is mechanics. Focused energy organizes circumstances. Belief and vibration draw matching experiences. Desire alone is weak without vibrational alignment. Matter cannot resist energy forever. A vision held strongly enough eventually carves itself into form. History is filled with stories of persistence where energy, faith, intention, determination created matter against all odds. Energy is limitless, but matter is finite. When you focus only on matter, you fight over limited resources. When you focus on energy, you access infinite creativity, solutions, and opportunities. The unseen multiplies, the seen divides. Energy is also the field of potential. Matter represents choices already made, but energy holds possibilities not yet born. This is why the future is flexible. Energy can shift before it condenses into matter. You are not bound to what exists. You are free to create anew. Your relationships are proof of energy shaping matter. Connection begins as unseen resonance, a feeling, a spark, an intuition. Only later does it become words, bonds, families, communities. Every visible connection started in invisible energy. Energy carries memory. Spaces hold the vibrations of what has occurred within them. Walk into a sacred temple and you feel peace. Walk into a place of violence and you feel heaviness. Matter remembers energy. The ancients taught that intention shapes ritual. Lighting incense or chanting was not about the material act, but about the energy infused within it. Modern life still carries rituals, from morning routines to celebrations, but their power comes from intention, not form. Energy before matter is why leadership is energetic. A leader's belief, vision, and courage ripple outward, shaping culture long before policies or actions do. The invisible atmosphere created by leaders determines the material outcome of their work. Money, too, is energy before it is matter. It flows where trust, value, and confidence vibrate strongly. Without these energies, even material wealth slips away. Abundance begins as an energy of openness, not as coins or paper. Energy explains creativity. An artist feels inspiration before brush meets canvas. A writer senses a story before words are typed. A musician hears melody before notes are played. The masterpiece exists in energy first, waiting to be born into matter. Energy teaches patience. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. Energy works underground, unseen, until matter reveals the growth. Trusting the unseen process prevents discouragement during the waiting seasons of life. Energy creates alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions all vibrate together, reality flows. Misalignment creates conflict and struggle. Matter simply mirrors the harmony or disharmony of your inner state. Every spiritual tradition carries this truth. Faith, prayer, meditation, visualization, all are practices of shaping energy before matter. Though the languages differ, the law remains the same across time and culture. The principle applies to destruction as well as creation. Wars, injustices, and violence begin as energies of hatred, fear, or greed, long before they manifest as material conflict. Healing requires changing the energy, not only patching matter. Energy before matter is also the essence of resilience. Even when the external world collapses, inner energy can remain strong. That energy eventually rebuilds matter again, stronger, wiser, and more aligned. Your words, thoughts, and emotions are architects. They may seem small, but repeated daily, they create vibrations that become walls, bridges, or pathways. Energy constructs the reality you will one day walk through. Ultimately, to live with wisdom is to honor this truth. If you wish to change your life, change your energy first. Matter is obedient. It will follow the vibration you sustain. You are not a victim of form. You are the creator of the energy that shapes it. Chapter 6. Breaking Free from Limiting Beliefs. Limiting beliefs are the invisible chains that bind your potential. They live quietly in the subconscious, whispering stories about what you can and cannot do. Unlike physical chains, you may not even realize they are there, yet they shape your choices, shrink your vision, and keep you living smaller than you were designed to live. Most limiting beliefs are not born from your truth, but inherited from others. As a child, you absorbed words from parents, teachers, and society. When someone told you, "You're not good enough," or "That's impossible," it imprinted on your subconscious. Over time, you carried their doubts as if they were your own. The danger of limiting beliefs is their disguise. They rarely announce themselves boldly. Instead, they appear as reasonable thoughts. "I'm just not that type of person," or "That's too risky." Because they sound logical, you accept them without question, yet beneath the surface, they are prisons. Breaking free begins with awareness. You cannot destroy a belief you do not see. Notice patterns in your life. Do you sabotage opportunities? Do you fear rejection before trying? Do you feel unworthy of success? These recurring experiences point to beliefs running quietly in the background. Limiting beliefs often form around failure. If you failed once, your mind may conclude, "I will always fail." But one event cannot define your entire potential. Breaking free means reframing failure as feedback, not identity. Each setback is a teacher, not a prophecy. Another common belief is unworthiness. Many carry the idea, I don't deserve love, success, or abundance. This belief poisons every opportunity because even when blessings appear, you push them away. Freedom begins by declaring, I am worthy simply because I exist. Limiting beliefs also arise from comparison. Seeing others succeed may spark the lie, they are special, I am not. Yet comparison blinds you to your unique gifts. Breaking free means recognizing that your path is not meant to copy another's, but to fully embody your own. These beliefs are sticky because the subconscious seeks consistency. If you once believed you were weak, your mind will look for evidence to prove it true. This confirmation bias keeps you trapped. To escape, you must deliberately create new evidence that supports your strength. Visualization is a powerful tool for rewriting beliefs. When you imagine yourself succeeding, confident and free, you speak in the language the subconscious understands. Over time, the image becomes familiar and the belief shifts from limitation to liberation. Language itself fuels belief. Every time you say, I can't, you reinforce the prison. Every time you say, I can, you weaken the walls. Speak with care, because words repeated often enough become identity. To change belief, change your language. Limiting beliefs often hide in excuses. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have the time. These are not truths but shields to avoid discomfort. Freedom requires honesty. It's rarely age or time that stops you, but fear of stepping beyond the familiar. Another prison is the belief in permanence. People think, I've always been this way, so I can't change. Yet nothing in nature stays the same. Rivers shift, seasons change, stars explode and reform. You too are fluid, not fixed. Believing in permanence is believing in an illusion. Breaking free means questioning the source. Ask yourself, who told me this? Was it a parent, a culture, a painful moment? And does that voice truly define me? Often, you'll realize the belief was never yours to begin with. You were simply carrying someone else's fear. Limiting beliefs thrive in silence. When you never challenge them, they grow roots. But when you voice them, when you expose them to the light of awareness, they begin to crumble. Speak your beliefs out loud, then ask, is this really true? Courage is the antidote to limiting beliefs. They survive only in inaction. The moment you take a step, apply for the job, start the project, speak the truth, you gather proof against the old story. Action weakens belief faster than thought alone. Limiting beliefs also shape identity statements. I'm shy. I'm unlucky. I'm not creative. These are not facts, but repeated choices. Breaking free means separating identity from behavior. You are not the label. You are the one choosing. Fear of judgment feeds many limiting beliefs. You imagine others laughing, criticizing, or rejecting you, but often people are too absorbed in their own lives to care, and even if they judge, their opinion does not define your worth. Freedom means caring more about growth than approval. The subconscious learns through repetition. Just as limiting beliefs were built by repeated negativity, empowering beliefs are built by repeated positivity. Affirmations, journaling, and consistent practice carve new grooves in the mind, replacing the old. Another trap is the belief that comfort equals safety. Many cling to the familiar even when it causes pain because the unknown feels risky. Yet true safety lies in growth, not stagnation. Breaking free requires embracing the discomfort of expansion. Limiting beliefs distort possibility. They tell you that doors are locked when they are merely closed. They convince you that mountains are walls, not paths. The belief itself is the obstacle, not reality. Freedom begins when you test the door and find it opens. One of the most dangerous beliefs is, I will start later. Procrastination is a mask for fear. By postponing, you protect yourself from failure, but you also deny yourself success. Freedom means beginning now, imperfectly, knowing momentum creates clarity. The body holds limiting beliefs too. Posture, tension, and breath all reflect subconscious stories. Standing tall, breathing deeply, and moving confidently send signals back to the brain, rewriting the belief through the body itself. Community influences beliefs. If you surround yourself with people who live small, you'll unconsciously shrink too. But when you spend time with dreamers, doers, and visionaries, your mind expands. Breaking free often requires changing your environment. Some limiting beliefs come disguised as practicality. I need to be realistic. But often, realism is just fear with a mask on. The people who changed the world were not called realistic. They were called bold. Question whether realistic is wisdom or limitation. Self-sabotage is the subconscious obeying limiting beliefs. You may forget the belief consciously, but your behavior exposes it. Missed deadlines, broken commitments, and lost opportunities are often signs of hidden stories running the show. Forgiveness helps dissolve limiting beliefs. When you forgive those who planted lies in you, you release their power. When you forgive yourself for believing them, you reclaim freedom. Forgiveness is not weakness, but liberation from chains you never deserved. Journaling reveals beliefs. Writing your thoughts daily uncovers patterns you didn't notice. When you see the same phrases appear, I can't, I'm not enough, you realize they are beliefs, not truths. Awareness is the first crack in the prison wall. Another way to break free is through evidence. Do the thing your belief says you can't. Each victory, no matter how small, becomes proof. Over time, proof becomes confidence, and confidence replaces the old belief. Beliefs shape ceilings. If you believe you can only reach a certain level of success, you'll stop there, even if more is possible. Breaking free means removing the ceiling altogether and asking, what if I'm capable of far more than I imagine? Children remind us how limiting beliefs form. A child believes they can fly, paint, sing, and create without fear. Only later do voices of doubt teach them otherwise. Awakening your inner child reconnects you to possibility before the lies took hold. The media and culture also shape beliefs. Constant exposure to fear-based stories conditions you to expect the worst. Curating what you consume reclaims control over your mental programming. Guard your mind as carefully as your body. Faith is a powerful weapon against limiting beliefs. When you believe in something greater than your fear, whether God, the universe, or your higher self, you step beyond the prison of logic. Faith opens doors. Logic says are impossible. Limiting beliefs can be generational. Families pass down fears about money, love, or success. People like us don't do that, they say, but breaking free means becoming the chain breaker, rewriting the story not only for yourself, but for those who follow. Awareness of language matters. Replace I can't with I am learning. Replace I failed with I grew. These subtle shifts transform limitation into growth. The subconscious listens closely. Give it words of expansion. Limiting beliefs often whisper, I am alone, but countless others have broken free from the same chains. Reading stories of resilience reminds you that you are not alone in the struggle. Shared wisdom creates strength. Gratitude dissolves limitation. When you focus on what you already have, the belief of lack loses power. Gratitude lifts your vibration, attracting more opportunities and weakening the grip of scarcity-based beliefs. Courage builds momentum. Each bold act creates evidence that you are stronger than your doubts. Over time, courage becomes identity, and the old beliefs sound like faint echoes you no longer obey. Breaking free requires persistence. Limiting beliefs return like old habits, but each time you challenge them, they weaken. The chains rust, the walls crack, and eventually they crumble completely. The final truth is this: limiting beliefs are illusions. They are not laws of the universe, but stories written by fear. You are not bound to them unless you agree to be. Breaking free is remembering who you are beyond the lies, limitless, capable, and designed for expansion. Limiting beliefs often hide behind comfort zones. The mind convinces you that staying safe is wisdom, but in truth, it is fear disguised as logic. Comfort zones feel warm, but they also keep you trapped in repetition. To break free, you must step into uncertainty where growth lives. A powerful way to dissolve limiting beliefs is exposure. The more you face what you fear, the less power it has. Fear thrives in imagination, not reality. When you experience what you thought was impossible and survive it, the old belief shatters. Your self-talk is the daily builder of beliefs. Each thought is like a brick. If you constantly say, "I'm not enough," you build a fortress of doubt. If you say, "I am capable," you build a temple of confidence. Monitor the bricks you lay with your words. Limiting beliefs shrink vision. They whisper that big dreams are unrealistic, convincing you to aim lower. But reality is often shaped by those who refuse to shrink. Expanding vision is an act of rebellion against limitation. Often, limiting beliefs create invisible ceilings in relationships. You might believe, "I don't deserve love," and unconsciously choose partners who prove it true. Breaking free requires knowing your worth first, so you no longer settle for less. The mind is like a projector. Beliefs are the film, and life is the screen. Change the film, and the movie changes. If your belief is scarcity, the movie shows lack. If your belief is abundance, the movie shows opportunity. The screen only reflects the real inside. Beliefs shape not only what you see, but what you fail to see. Two people can face the same moment. One sees an obstacle, the other sees a possibility. The difference is not the moment, but the belief lens through which it is viewed. Limiting beliefs thrive when left unquestioned. They sound familiar, so you accept them. But freedom comes from asking, who said this is true? Is this a universal law, or just a borrowed story? Most collapse the moment they are interrogated. Your brain's neuroplasticity proves beliefs can be changed. Each new thought repeated rewires pathways. Old limiting beliefs are like overused roads. New empowering beliefs carve fresh trails. With time, the new path becomes the natural one. Beliefs are also tied to identity. If you see yourself as a failure, every choice will align with that identity. But identity is fluid, not fixed. You can declare, "I am becoming," and step into a new self. Identity is chosen, not permanent. Society reinforces limiting beliefs. Systems often condition people to believe they are powerless, dependent, or incapable. Breaking free is an act of rebellion, reclaiming sovereignty over your mind when the world wants you small. Beliefs about money are especially binding. Many are taught money is evil or people like us never have wealth. These beliefs keep generations stuck. Freedom means rewriting the story. Money is energy, and when used with integrity, it creates impact. Time, too, is shaped by belief. "It's too late" is one of the most destructive lies. People achieve greatness in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Believing in time as a friend instead of an enemy transforms how you live every day. Limiting beliefs often pass through language disguised as certainty. "I can't." "I always." "I never." These absolutes create cages. Replacing them with "I can learn," "I am growing," and "I will try" transforms possibility. The subconscious does not argue with you. It accepts commands. This means you are always programming it, whether intentionally or not. Speak limitation, and it obeys. Speak expansion, and it obeys. Choose your commands with care. Another trap is the belief that asking for help equals weakness. Many suffer silently, refusing support, yet collaboration is strength. Breaking free means realizing that help is not dependency, but shared power. Fear of success is a hidden limiting belief. Many unconsciously fear that success will bring pressure, envy, or responsibility. They sabotage their growth to avoid it. Freedom comes from embracing success as expansion, not burden. Beliefs about failure often paralyze action. If I try and fail, I'll look foolish. But the true failure is never trying. Bold attempts plant seeds for tomorrow. Limiting beliefs stop the planting. Freedom begins with sowing anyway. The stories you tell yourself daily shape your destiny. I am unlucky. I'm always behind. These stories reinforce themselves. Rewrite your story with words of power, and your actions will align with the new script. Visualization rewires beliefs faster when paired with emotion. Feel the success, not just see it. Emotion convinces the subconscious that the vision is real. The deeper the feeling, the faster the old belief dissolves. Children learn through repetition, and so do adults. The limiting beliefs you've carried for years were simply repeated until they became natural. To overwrite them, persistence is required, new truths spoken daily until they feel inevitable. Limiting beliefs are contagious. Surround yourself with people repeating scarcity and doubt, and you'll absorb it. Surround yourself with visionaries, and your own beliefs expand. Environment is medicine or poison for the mind. Every small victory weakens limiting beliefs. When you do something you once thought impossible, you prove the belief wrong. Celebrate small wins, for they are cracks in the prison wall, letting light into the subconscious. Journaling questions accelerate freedom. Ask, what belief holds me back? Where did I learn it? What evidence do I have against it? Writing exposes the illusion, and once exposed, it cannot control you. Beliefs about worth often come from early rejection. A child ignored or criticized concludes, I'm not enough. As an adult, that belief repeats. Breaking free means reparenting yourself with compassion, giving the love you lacked. Spiritual traditions teach that belief creates reality. Faith is simply belief magnified. Whether in God, the universe, or destiny, faith breaks through limitation by aligning your energy with possibility. Some limiting beliefs hide as self-protection. If I never try, I'll never be hurt. But in avoiding pain, you avoid growth. True safety lies not in hiding, but in becoming strong enough to face life fully. Beliefs about intelligence are common prisons. Many believe, I'm not smart enough. But intelligence is not fixed. It is expanded through learning and practice. Curiosity, not IQ, is the true key to growth. Fear of judgment is a cage built from belief. People avoid expression, fearing ridicule, yet those who judge are often projecting their own insecurities. Freedom is living in authenticity regardless of opinion. Beliefs about scarcity convince you that opportunity is limited. But abundance is not a pie that runs out. It multiplies as it's shared. Believing in abundance opens creativity, generosity, and growth. Another limiting belief is, I must be perfect to start. Perfectionism delays life endlessly. The truth is, progress creates perfection. Starting imperfectly breaks the illusion and proves movement is the only path. Limiting beliefs often whisper, I don't belong. They convince you that you are an outsider, unworthy of circles or success. But belonging begins within. Once you accept yourself fully, the world mirrors that acceptance back. Gratitude transforms belief by shifting focus. Instead of saying, I lack, you say, I have. The energy of enoughness dissolves limitation. A grateful heart cannot hold the weight of scarcity-based beliefs. Beliefs about control can trap you. If I don't control everything, it will collapse. But control is an illusion. Freedom comes when you trust flow, believing that life is unfolding with wisdom beyond your grasp. Every belief is a lens, and you can change lenses. What once looked impossible becomes possible when viewed through new eyes. Freedom is not about inventing new truths, but about choosing the lens that empowers you. Breaking free requires daily practice. Just as muscles are strengthened with repetition, empowering beliefs grow stronger with use. Each day is a chance to practice freedom until it becomes natural. The final truth is this: limiting beliefs are not reality, only perception. They dissolve the moment you refuse to feed them. Your true self is limitless, vast, and powerful beyond imagination. Freedom is remembering you were never small, only taught to believe you were. Chapter 7. Aligning with universal flow. To align with universal flow is to stop fighting against life and start moving with it. Flow is not laziness or passivity. It is an intelligent surrender to the natural rhythm of the universe. When you learn to listen, you find that life already has a current guiding you toward growth. Most people resist flow. They cling tightly to control, forcing outcomes and fighting against timing. This resistance creates stress, frustration, and exhaustion. Flow, however, teaches that when you release your grip, energy begins to carry you toward what is meant for you. Flow is the harmony between effort and surrender. It is not about doing nothing, but about doing the right things at the right time. Imagine swimming with a river. You still move, but you conserve energy because the current supports you. That is the essence of alignment. The universe speaks through signs and synchronicities. When you are aligned, opportunities seem to appear at the right moment, and coincidences feel too precise to be random. These are not accidents. They are signals that you are moving with flow instead of against it. Flow requires trust. Without trust, you will cling to fear, worrying about what might go wrong. Trust transforms fear into curiosity, allowing you to walk into the unknown with confidence. Trust is the bridge between chaos and harmony. Alignment with flow means accepting timing. Life unfolds in seasons, some for planting, some for growing, and some for harvesting. When you rush or delay beyond the season, you create suffering. Flow means recognizing and respecting divine timing. Resistance often shows up as overthinking. You imagine every possible outcome, trying to control the uncontrollable. Flow reminds you that not all answers come before action. Many reveal themselves only once you step into the stream of life. Flow thrives in presence. The mind that dwells too much on past regrets or future worries misses the current moment where life is happening. Aligning with flow means being fully here, now, open to what this moment offers. A key aspect of flow is intuition. Logic has its place, but intuition senses the current. It whispers when to wait, when to act, and when to let go. Listening to intuition is listening to the subtle voice of universal flow. Nature is the greatest teacher of flow. Rivers bend without resistance, trees grow toward the sun, seasons arrive without struggle. None of nature's elements force their existence, yet all thrive. Living in flow means remembering that you too are part of nature. Flow does not mean everything will be easy. Storms still come, obstacles still rise. But alignment gives you resilience. Instead of breaking under pressure, you bend like bamboo, knowing the storm is temporary. Flow gives strength in surrender. Flow is also about energy management. When you are aligned, you no longer waste energy on battles not meant for you. You stop trying to open locked doors and instead walk through the ones that are already ajar. This efficiency creates peace. The ego often resists flow. It demands recognition, control, and guarantees. Flow asks for humility, a willingness to accept that the universe is wiser than your limited perspective. Letting go of ego allows life to surprise you with paths you never imagined. Alignment requires listening inward. The external world is filled with noise, but the flow is felt in the heart. Silence, meditation, and reflection tune you to the current that is always moving beneath the surface. When you are aligned, work feels like play. Time disappears, creativity flows, and you feel energized instead of drained. This is the flow state, where your gifts meet the needs of the moment perfectly. It is alignment expressed through action. Flow also reveals itself in relationships. When you meet someone aligned with your energy, connection feels effortless. Conversation is natural, trust builds easily, and synchronicities appear. These relationships are born from resonance, not force. Many suffer because they resist endings. They cling to jobs, relationships, or seasons that have expired. Flow teaches that endings are not failures, but transitions. Letting go creates space for the new current to carry you forward. Flow requires surrender, but surrender is not weakness. It is strength. The strength to accept what you cannot change and focus on what you can. Surrender aligns you with reality instead of fantasy, creating peace. When aligned with flow, obstacles transform into teachers. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift changes resistance into growth, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Flow means trusting that what belongs to you will not pass you by. You no longer chase desperately, fearing loss. Instead, you act with intention and trust that what is meant will remain. This belief reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Alignment reveals that control is often an illusion. You may think you orchestrate everything, but life is always bigger than your plans. Flow humbles you into realizing you are a participant in a larger design, not its master. Living in flow also means simplifying. Complexity is resistance, endless clutter, choices, and noise. Flow thrives in clarity. When your life is simple, energy moves freely, guiding you toward what truly matters. Flow thrives in gratitude. When you are thankful for the present moment, you stop resisting it. Gratitude opens your heart, aligning you with the higher frequency of abundance. Flow naturally expands from a grateful state. Fear blocks flow. When you let fear dictate choices, you cling tightly to safety, missing the river's movement. Courage releases fear's grip, allowing you to float into greater possibilities. Flow requires faith in the unseen. Flow is not always fast. Sometimes it is stillness, waiting, and preparation. Many mistake waiting for stagnation, but waiting in alignment is powerful. Seeds sprout only when conditions are right, and so does destiny. Flow also means accepting imperfection. Life's path is not straight, but winding. When you expect flawless roads, you resist detours. Flow accepts the winding path as purposeful, each bend bringing unseen gifts. Your body feels flow. When you are aligned, tension eases, breathing deepens, and energy feels lighter. Resistance shows up as tightness, stress, or fatigue. Listening to your body helps you know whether you are in or out of flow. Flow thrives when you release comparison. The river of your life cannot be measured against someone else's. Each current is unique. Alignment means honoring your journey instead of competing with another's. Children live naturally in flow. They laugh, play, and move with curiosity, unburdened by overthinking. Observing them reminds us of the innocence of alignment before conditioning taught us to resist. Flow is our natural state. Flow means honoring cycles of giving and receiving. Many resist receiving, feeling unworthy. Others resist giving, fearing lack. True alignment requires balance, the willingness to give freely and receive gratefully. In flow, synchronicities multiply. You think of someone and they call. You desire an opportunity and it appears. These are not coincidences, but confirmations. Flow creates connections the conscious mind cannot plan. Creativity flourishes in flow. Writers, artists, and inventors describe moments when ideas seem to come through them, not from them. This is alignment with universal intelligence, where you become a channel for creation. Flow reminds us that life is not a race. Rushing creates resistance. When you honor your pace, you find that everything arrives exactly when it should. There is no delay in flow, only perfect timing. The practice of mindfulness deepens flow. When you savor food, walk with awareness, or breathe consciously, you align with the rhythm of now. Flow is always present, but mindfulness is how you notice it. Resistance drains, but flow energizes. At the end of a day lived in alignment, you feel fulfilled, even if you worked hard. At the end of a day lived in resistance, you feel empty, even if you achieved much. Energy reveals whether you are aligned. Flow also requires trust in the unknown. The future cannot be fully mapped, but it can be trusted. When you stop demanding certainty, you make space for miracles. Flow thrives where control ends. Living in flow transforms relationships with challenges. You no longer fear difficulty, but see it as part of the current shaping you. Like rocks in a river, challenges refine your strength and clarity. Flow makes obstacles part of beauty. Flow teaches the art of letting be. Not every question needs an answer now. Not every problem needs immediate fixing. Some things unfold with time, and alignment means allowing the process instead of forcing it. In flow, joy becomes natural. You no longer wait for conditions to be perfect. Joy flows from being connected to life itself, regardless of circumstance. This joy lifts your vibration and keeps you aligned. Ultimately, aligning with universal flow is about trust, presence, and surrender. It is remembering that you are not separate from life's current, but part of it. When you let go of resistance, life carries you to places effort alone never could. Flow begins when you stop resisting reality. Much of human suffering comes from wishing life were different than it is. Alignment does not mean liking every moment, but accepting it as it is, then moving wisely within it. Acceptance is the first step into the current. When you are in flow, struggle loses its grip. This doesn't mean challenges vanish, but you stop fighting them blindly. Instead, you adapt, learn, and redirect. Like water around a rock, you find a way forward with grace instead of force. Flow is cooperation with life. Many treat life as an enemy to conquer, always pushing, always demanding, but life was never against you. Flow reveals that the universe is collaborative, waiting to meet you halfway the moment you stop resisting. To align with flow, you must release the obsession with outcomes. Goals are useful, but clinging to results creates pressure. Flow is about moving with purpose while letting results arrive naturally. Desire guides you, but attachment blocks you. The ego thrives on resistance. It insists that things must go your way, at your pace, in your design. Flow dissolves ego by reminding you that the river does not follow one person's command. It moves according to higher intelligence. Flow teaches adaptability. The wind shifts, the current bends, and life changes course. Instead of breaking, you adjust. Adaptability is strength disguised as softness. Those who bend with life endure. Those who refuse eventually snap. You know you are aligned with flow when synchronicities multiply. Life feels like it's speaking to you. A book falls into your hands. A chance meeting changes direction. An answer arrives at the perfect time. These are confirmations that you are in rhythm with the universe. Resistance is like swimming upstream, exhausting, slow, and unsustainable. Flow is turning around, letting the current assist you. Both paths require movement, but only one sustains energy. The choice is whether you will fight or cooperate with life. In flow, clarity sharpens. Decisions feel lighter, not because everything is easy, but because your intuition is tuned. You stop second-guessing every step and instead trust that one step will reveal the next. Clarity grows as resistance fades. Flow invites humility. You realize you do not need to control every detail. Life already has a greater intelligence weaving through events. When you surrender to that intelligence, you step into harmony that control could never achieve. Fear is the greatest barrier to flow. Fear tightens the grip, resists surrender, and imagines disaster. Flow dissolves fear by building trust in something larger. The current will not drown you, it will carry you where you were meant to go. Alignment with flow also means listening deeply. Most people rush past signals, fatigue, intuition, discomfort, and then wonder why life feels chaotic. Flow requires slowing down enough to hear what the universe is already whispering. When you are aligned, opportunities often come with ease. What felt impossible through force arrives naturally. This is not coincidence, it is life reflecting your inner harmony. Flow is proof that alignment creates acceleration. Flow is not passive drifting, it is active cooperation. Like a skilled surfer, you must still balance, steer, and adjust. But the wave carries you, amplifying your effort. Flow multiplies action instead of replacing it. Patience is essential in flow. Sometimes the current moves swiftly, other times slowly. Impatience pulls you out of alignment, convincing you to push against the natural rhythm. Patience keeps you in the stream, trusting the timing of its speed. Flow reminds you that endings are beginnings. A door closing is not punishment, but redirection. Life clears space before offering new paths. When you accept endings gracefully, you make room for new flow to enter. Creativity blossoms in flow. Ideas feel as if they come through you, not from you. Writers, artists, and inventors describe being carried by inspiration. Flow is the channel through which universal intelligence expresses itself. In relationships, flow creates ease. Conversations feel natural, trust builds without effort, and growth happens together. If every interaction feels forced, it may not be alignment but resistance. Flow reveals itself in peace, not struggle. Flow requires letting go of comparison. Your river is not your neighbor's. Some rivers are fast, others winding. Comparing only distracts and breeds resistance. True alignment comes when you honor your unique current. Spiritual traditions echo the same wisdom. Thy will be done. Go with the Tao. Surrender to God. Each points to flow, trusting a wisdom greater than personal desire. Ancient voices knew what we are still rediscovering. Flow lightens the body. Stress shows up physically as tension, headaches, and fatigue. Alignment relaxes muscles, deepens breath, and restores vitality. The body mirrors whether you are fighting or cooperating with life. Flow invites courage. To let go feels risky, as if surrender means weakness. But surrender requires bravery, to trust the unseen, to stop forcing, to let the river reveal its path. Courage is flowing where certainty ends. When aligned, life feels spacious. Even busy days carry calm. You stop rushing because you know nothing is late. Flow turns pressure into presence, reminding you that time unfolds perfectly. Gratitude keeps you in flow. When you appreciate the present, you stop resisting it. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and enoughness is the gateway to abundance. Flow cannot thrive in discontent. Flow transforms failure. Instead of seeing it as an end, you recognize it as redirection. The current may not take you where you expected, but it is always taking you somewhere necessary. Failure becomes feedback, not defeat. You cannot enter flow while clinging to the past. Regret is an anchor dragging against the current. Release it, and you move freely again. The river only moves forward. Alignment requires joining it. Flow asks you to release the illusion of perfection. The river bends, narrows, and sometimes floods, yet it still reaches the ocean. Life's imperfections are not mistakes, but part of the design. Alignment is choosing progress over perfection. Flow deepens faith. The more you trust and see life responding with synchronicity, the stronger your faith grows. Eventually, trust becomes natural, a lived experience, not just an idea. Children embody flow instinctively. They play, laugh, and explore without resistance. They don't overthink the next step. They live fully in the moment. Observing them reminds us of what alignment feels like before conditioning taught us resistance. Flow is not about never planning. It is about planning lightly, with flexibility. Create direction, but leave room for surprises. The river may carry you faster than you imagined if you don't insist on your own rigid path. Forgiveness restores flow. Resentment blocks energy like a dam. Forgiving releases the blockage, allowing life to move again. Forgiveness is not about excusing others, but freeing yourself to continue forward. Alignment teaches you that what is meant for you will not miss you. You no longer chase desperately, nor cling to what leaves. You trust that the river's current will always bring you what belongs. Mindfulness practices, breathing, walking, pausing, keep you aware of flow. Each mindful act drops you back into the present, the only place flow exists. Awareness is the doorway to alignment. Flow reveals that the universe is abundant. Opportunities are endless when you stop clinging to one fixed outcome. Resistance narrows vision, but flow opens infinite possibilities. Flow allows you to rest. In resistance, you burn out from forcing. In flow, rest is part of rhythm. Just as rivers slow in winter, you too must honor stillness. Rest keeps you aligned with energy's natural cycles. Authenticity keeps you in flow. Pretending to be someone else creates resistance because the energy is false. When you live as your true self, the current carries you easily. Flow honors the authentic. Flow is freedom. You stop needing to control every detail, stop fearing the unknown, and stop clinging to the past. Freedom is moving with life instead of against it, trusting the current as your guide. Ultimately, aligning with universal flow means remembering that you are not separate from life's river. You are part of it. The current does not fight you, it carries you. The only question is whether you will resist or allow yourself to be carried into the ocean of your destiny. Chapter 8: The Science of Reality. Shifting. Reality shifting begins with understanding that reality is not fixed. It is fluid, shaped by focus, belief, and vibration. What feels solid is actually energy arranged in patterns, and those patterns can be rearranged when consciousness changes. You are not stuck in one version of life. You are capable of stepping into another. Science already tells us that the universe exists in probabilities. Quantum physics reveals that particles are waves of potential until observed. In the same way, your life holds infinite potential realities, but the one you live is the one you repeatedly focus upon. Attention collapses possibility into experience. Reality shifting is the practice of moving from one potential reality to another by adjusting your inner state. Change your thoughts, emotions, and expectations, and you align with a different timeline. Life reorganizes itself to match the new frequency you hold within. Your mind is the primary instrument of shifting. The subconscious carries programs that anchor you in familiar patterns. When you rewrite those programs through visualization, affirmation, and intention, you release old anchors and sail into new realities. Dreams provide a glimpse of this shifting. In sleep, you move effortlessly between worlds, experiencing vivid realities as if they were solid. This shows that consciousness can inhabit multiple dimensions, and the waking mind can learn to direct this power intentionally. Imagination is not fantasy, it is rehearsal for reality. When you imagine vividly, the subconscious accepts the vision as truth. Over time, matter adjusts to reflect it. Reality shifting begins in imagination, which serves as the bridge between energy and form. Belief is the key that locks or unlocks realities. If you believe change is impossible, you remain stuck. If you believe reality is flexible, you invite new timelines. Belief acts as the filter that determines which possibilities you are willing to see. Emotion powers shifting. Thoughts provide direction, but emotion provides fuel. A vision felt deeply is far more powerful than one merely pictured. The stronger the emotional charge, the faster the shift occurs, because energy responds to vibration more than words. Time itself is flexible within reality shifting. Many cultures taught that time is circular, not linear. Modern science shows that time is relative, stretching or compressing under certain conditions. Shifting realities often feels like altering time itself, slowing, accelerating, or rewriting its flow. Meditation is a gateway to shifting. In silence, you detach from the current reality long enough to glimpse others. The deeper your stillness, the more porous the walls between realities become. Meditation creates the space for transition. Shifting begins subtly. At first, you may notice small changes, unexpected opportunities, new people entering, or synchronicities multiplying. These are signs that you are aligning with a different version of reality. With practice, these shifts become more profound. Every choice is a shift. When you choose courage over fear, gratitude over complaint, or love over bitterness, you move onto a different path. These small daily decisions compound, leading to realities vastly different from the one you would have lived otherwise. Energy alignment is essential. If your outer actions do not match your inner intention, the shift stalls. When your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors align, momentum builds. Reality cannot resist the coherence of a unified being. Visualization techniques accelerate shifting. Seeing yourself in the desired reality, walking the path, speaking the words, feeling the outcomes, impresses the subconscious with new coordinates. Like a compass, your mind points reality toward that direction. Affirmations work because repetition convinces the subconscious. By speaking truths consistently, you replace the limiting scripts that keep you anchored. Over time, the new belief system vibrates strongly enough to shift the trajectory of your life. Resistance delays shifts. Doubt, fear, and attachment to old identities keep you tethered. Shifting requires letting go of the story of who you were so that you can step into who you are becoming. The past is not a chain unless you keep carrying it. Reality shifting also involves letting go of control. You cannot dictate every detail. Instead, you set intention and trust the current. Control creates rigidity, while flow creates flexibility. Shifts occur when you relax into possibility. Science shows that the brain cannot distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. Athletes improve performance through mental rehearsal alone. This proves that imagination is not separate from reality. It is part of shaping it. Shifting uses this same principle consciously. Dream states are powerful portals for shifting. Before sleep, setting intention with affirmations or visualizations can program the subconscious to move toward a desired reality. Nighttime becomes a rehearsal space for the waking world. Reality shifts often come with discomfort. The old identity resists, pulling you back into familiar patterns. Growth feels unstable at first, like stepping into unknown territory. But this discomfort is proof that you are leaving one reality for another. Gratitude strengthens shifts. By focusing on what you already have, you raise your vibration, aligning with abundance. Gratitude tunes your frequency to higher possibilities, making you magnetic to realities where blessings multiply. Community influence is shifting. Surround yourself with people who doubt and fear. and you anchor in stagnation. Surround yourself with visionaries and believers, and you accelerate into expanded realities. The collective energy you immerse in matters. Your body is part of shifting. Movement, breathwork, and posture all communicate with the subconscious. Standing tall, breathing deeply, and moving confidently tell the body it belongs to a reality of strength, not weakness. Shifting is not about escaping reality, but evolving it. Some mistake it for denial, but it is the opposite. It is choosing to live in a higher version of reality by aligning with higher truths. Escapism avoids, shifting transforms. Limiting beliefs are the strongest anchors against shifting. They insist that life must stay the same. Breaking them weakens the anchor so the ship can sail. The more beliefs you free, the smoother the transition between realities becomes. Synchronicities are evidence of alignment. When numbers, names, or events repeat, they signal that your vibration matches a new reality. Paying attention to synchronicities strengthens the shift by affirming that you are on the right path. Every reality has its frequency. Just as radio stations broadcast on different wavelengths, realities exist on different vibrations. You tune into the one you live by, aligning your inner frequency with it. Change the frequency, and the station changes. Energy work practices like Reiki, sound healing, and chanting are ancient methods of shifting. They raise vibration, release stagnant energy, and align you with higher states. These practices open pathways to realities otherwise inaccessible. Journaling supports shifts. Writing your desired reality trains the subconscious to see it as possible. Each written word is a declaration, embedding the new story deeper into your mind. The pen is a powerful tool for transformation. Faith is a cornerstone of shifting. You must believe before you see. Without faith, you sabotage the process with doubt. With faith, you create space for miracles. Reality often bends in favor of those who trust it will. Patience is essential. Shifting does not always happen instantly. Seeds take time to sprout. Impatience pulls you out of flow, while patience keeps you aligned. Trust the unseen process as reality reorders itself. Identity is fluid. Who you believe yourself to be anchors you in a certain reality. By declaring a new identity, I am strong, I am free, I am abundant, you shift into a timeline where that identity already exists. Shifting is also about releasing resistance to receiving. Many hold beliefs of unworthiness, blocking abundance. Aligning with flow requires accepting blessings without guilt. To receive fully is to affirm alignment with higher realities. Meditative practices like guided visualization deepen the experience of stepping into new realities. The more vividly you walk through them in your mind, the more naturally your subconscious guides you into them in waking life. Energy creates momentum in shifting. At first, small changes appear: mood, thoughts, subtle synchronicities. If you persist, these shifts compound until reality itself feels different. Momentum is the bridge from subtle to tangible. The science of shifting is both mystical and practical. Mystical because it engages unseen forces. Practical because it requires discipline, daily practices, consistent focus, and intentional action. Both are necessary to stabilize the shift. Reality shifting is not about escaping pain, but learning from it. Sometimes the shift requires facing shadows, healing wounds, and releasing old patterns. The higher reality becomes available only when the lessons of the lower one are integrated. The present moment is the portal. You cannot shift from yesterday or tomorrow, only from now. By aligning your current vibration with the desired reality, you step into it. The shift always begins in the present. Shifting teaches that you are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are a co-creator, capable of shaping life deliberately. By raising your energy, focusing your mind, and trusting the process, you align with realities far greater than what you once believed possible. Ultimately, the science of reality shifting shows that life is not static, but dynamic. You are not bound to one script. You are the writer, the actor, and the director, capable of stepping into new roles, new scenes, and new stories. The only limits are the ones you refuse to challenge. Reality shifting begins with the awareness that what you call real is simply one version of infinite possibilities. It is not that you are creating from nothing, but that you are tuning into a frequency that already exists. Every choice, every belief, every focus determines which version you experience. Think of reality as a vast library. Every book is a different version of your life. The one you are reading now feels like the only story, but shelves upon shelves of alternative volumes surround you. Shifting is the art of choosing a new book and stepping inside its pages. Your thoughts act like a magnet. When you dwell on fear and limitation, you pull in experiences that confirm them. When you focus on possibility and abundance, you attract events that reflect that belief. Reality responds faithfully to the energy you emit. Shifting requires clarity. If your mind is scattered with conflicting desires, the signal you send is weak. But when your intention is focused, the frequency becomes strong enough to override old patterns. Clarity sharpens the magnet of your energy. The subconscious is the bridge between imagination and matter. It does not argue or judge. It accepts whatever is repeated with emotion. That is why rituals, affirmations, and visualization are powerful. They bypass doubt and reprogram the inner world. Doubt acts like static on the frequency. You may want a new reality, but if you secretly believe it is impossible, you jam the signal. To shift, you must replace doubt with trust, even before evidence appears. Faith clears the channel for manifestation. Shifting also demands alignment between inner state and outer action. You cannot visualize abundance, but live in scarcity-driven habits and expect change. Action is the physical proof of belief. The more aligned your behavior, the faster reality adjusts. Energy rituals, from breathwork to chanting, recalibrate your vibration. These practices release stagnant emotions, clearing room for new frequencies. When energy flows freely through the body, you become more capable of stepping into expanded realities. Reality shifting requires letting go of old identities. If you cling to who you were, the failures, the labels, the limits, you stay anchored in that version. Freedom begins when you say, "I am no longer that person. I am becoming someone new." Your environment influences your shifts. Spaces filled with clutter, noise, or negativity reinforce the old reality. Cleansing your surroundings through design, order, or energy work sends a message to the subconscious that change has already begun. Shifting is accelerated through gratitude. When you honor what you already have, you stop vibrating in lack. Gratitude aligns you with abundance, which naturally opens doors to new realities where blessings multiply. Another tool for shifting is scripting, writing in detail the life you want as if it has already happened. By describing the sights, emotions, and experiences of that reality, you anchor it more deeply in the subconscious. Words become blueprints. The body itself remembers realities. Trauma or fear can anchor you in lower timelines. Healing the body through movement, therapy, or energy work allows you to loosen the grip of old realities and step into freer ones. Every reality has its challenges, but the challenges differ. By shifting, you do not eliminate growth, but change the lessons you encounter. Instead of lessons of survival, you may step into lessons of expansion, creativity, or leadership. Meditation teaches you to detach from the illusion of permanence. In deep silence, you sense that all realities are temporary and flexible. This detachment gives you freedom to step into new ones without fear of losing yourself. Some shifts happen suddenly, like turning a page. Others unfold slowly, like water shaping stone. Both are valid. The pace of transition depends on your readiness to let go of the old and embrace the new. The more you resist change, the more difficult shifting feels. Resistance ties you to the past, while surrender loosens the knot. Surrender does not mean inaction. It means trusting the process while continuing to align your choices. Imagination should be treated with reverence, not dismissed as fantasy. The greatest inventors, leaders, and creators first lived in the unseen. They shifted realities because they believed imagination was the seed of manifestation. Every shift begins with language. The words you use shape the identity you live. Saying "I can't" locks you in limitation. Saying "I am learning" shifts you toward growth. Speak the language of the reality you want, and you will grow into it. Shifting realities often feels like shedding skins. Old habits, relationships, and beliefs fall away as the new self emerges. Though uncomfortable, this shedding is proof of progress. You cannot step into the next version while clinging to the last. Synchronicities become signposts of alignment. Seeing repeating numbers, hearing the same phrase, or encountering timely guidance are confirmations that you are adjusting to a new vibration. Pay attention to these signals. They are maps from the universe. Patience is vital. Many abandon the process when results do not appear instantly, but reality often rearranges in invisible ways before visible change arrives. Trusting the unseen is part of mastering the science of shifting. Shifts are accelerated by emotion. A cold visualization lacks power, but a vivid, emotional one charges the subconscious. Feel the joy, relief, or gratitude of the new reality until it becomes natural. Emotion convinces the mind that the shift is real. Shifting does not require perfection. You do not need flawless thoughts or unshakable faith at all times. Progress comes from persistence, not perfection. Each small effort adds momentum to the transition. Fear of loss often blocks shifting. You may fear losing people, comfort, or identity. But the truth is, what is meant for your highest reality will remain. What falls away is simply what cannot survive in your next chapter. Your daily habits anchor your reality. Small choices, repeated, reinforce the timeline you live in. By changing habits, waking earlier, reading, practicing gratitude, you begin to re-anchor yourself in a higher vibration reality. Energy must be directed wisely. Obsession with past mistakes or future fears drains power from the present. Reality shifts happen in the now, not in regrets or fantasies. Presence is the doorway to transformation. Reality shifting is also about courage. You must be willing to face uncertainty without guarantees. The unknown feels intimidating, but it is also the only space where miracles are born. Courage allows you to step into the void with trust. Shifts often require solitude. In silence, away from noise and external influence, you recalibrate. Solitude helps you hear your intuition, the inner compass guiding you toward the new reality. Visualization works best when paired with inspired action. Dreaming alone is incomplete. Acting on your vision, however small the step, signals to the universe that you are serious. Action anchors imagination into matter. Your beliefs about possibility define your limits. If you think small, your reality shrinks. If you think expansively, doors open. The universe mirrors the boundaries you set. By stretching belief, you stretch reality. Breath is a subtle yet powerful tool. Deep, conscious breathing calms the nervous system, creating space for clarity and alignment. Each breath releases resistance and allows energy to flow, preparing you for new realities. Shifting requires faith not only in the universe but in yourself. Self-trust is the foundation. Without it, doubt sabotages progress. Believing in your capacity to create is the most important step toward transformation. Dream incubation. setting intentions before sleep, can accelerate shifts. The subconscious absorbs these instructions deeply during rest, making nighttime a fertile ground for rewiring reality. Sleep becomes a spiritual workshop. Reality shifting thrives in environments of beauty. Music, art, and nature raise vibration, creating fertile soil for transformation. Surrounding yourself with harmony aligns you more easily with higher frequencies. Each shift expands identity. Who you become in the process is just as important as the new reality itself. The external change mirrors the internal evolution, teaching that transformation is both destination and journey. You cannot shift by clinging to certainty. The mind craves guarantees, but certainty is a cage. Reality shifting thrives in openness, in willingness to explore what has not yet been proven. Embracing uncertainty is essential. The final truth is this: shifting is not rare or extraordinary. You are already doing it. Every thought, every choice, every belief shifts you incrementally. The science of shifting is simply learning to do it consciously, aligning with realities that reflect your highest self. Chapter 9. Becoming who you were meant to be. Becoming who you were meant to be begins with remembering. Beneath the noise of fear, expectation, and conditioning lies your true self, waiting to be uncovered. You were not born to conform endlessly to others' opinions. You were born to embody a unique expression of the universe. From childhood, layers of programming shaped your identity. Parents, teachers, and society handed you scripts: what is possible, what is acceptable, what is safe. Yet deep within, a voice whispers a different story, one of possibility, freedom, and purpose. That whisper is your authentic self. The greatest tragedy is not failure, but forgetting. Forgetting that you came into this world with gifts, passions, and a purpose that only you can fulfill. To become who you were meant to be, you must return to remembrance, peeling back every false layer. Living as your true self is not about perfection, but alignment. It means making choices that resonate with your soul, even if they defy external approval. The path may look unconventional, but authenticity creates fulfillment in a way imitation never can. Fear is the first barrier to authenticity. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of standing out. But fear is simply a shadow cast by potential. Each time you act despite fear, you step closer to your true self, proving that freedom lies on the other side of courage. Becoming yourself requires honesty. Honesty about what you love, what drains you, what inspires you, and what suffocates you. Many hide behind masks because truth feels risky. Yet only honesty can dissolve the walls that keep you from your true identity. You cannot become your true self while living to please everyone. People-pleasing fragments your energy, scattering it across endless demands. True alignment means learning to disappoint others when necessary in order not to disappoint your soul. Comparison blinds you to authenticity. Looking at others' paths convinces you that you are lacking. But your journey is not meant to mirror theirs. The oak tree does not envy the rose. Both are perfect expressions of life's design, each thriving in its own form. Becoming who you were meant to be requires embracing imperfection. Many wait until they feel flawless before stepping into authenticity. But the truth is, flaws are part of your design. They do not diminish your worth. They make your expression irreplaceable. Purpose is not always found in a single revelation. Sometimes it emerges slowly, through following curiosity, through trial and error. The key is movement. Staying still keeps you in confusion, while action uncovers the path you were destined to walk. Identity is not fixed. It evolves. Who you were 5 years ago is not who you are today. Becoming your true self is not about clinging to an old version, but allowing yourself to grow into the next. Transformation is evidence of authenticity, not betrayal. The soul speaks in desires, not the shallow desires of distraction, but the deep desires of growth, creation, and service. Listening to those desires reveals direction. To ignore them is to silence the compass guiding you toward your true self. Obstacles are not punishments, but teachers. Each challenge carves strength, wisdom, and resilience into your being. Without them, you could not grow into the version of yourself prepared to live your highest potential. Difficulty shapes destiny. Becoming your true self requires releasing limiting beliefs. Beliefs such as, "I'm not enough," or "I don't deserve," keep you anchored in smallness. Rewriting these scripts frees you to step into expansion, embodying the truth that you are already worthy. Authenticity requires boundaries. Saying no to what drains you creates space for what aligns with you. Boundaries are not walls, but gates. They protect your energy so you can walk your path without depletion. Your true self thrives in alignment with values. If you value freedom but live in constraint, conflict arises. If you value creativity but suppress it, dissatisfaction grows. Clarifying your values ensures that your daily choices lead toward authenticity. Silence and solitude often reveal who you are. In the stillness, without noise or distraction, the truth of your desires rises. Many fear silence because it strips away illusions. Yet it is in silence that you meet the real you. Becoming yourself requires patience. Growth is not instant. The butterfly does not emerge the day after the caterpillar is born. Trusting the process, even when it feels slow, honors the natural rhythm of transformation. Community also shapes authenticity. Surround yourself with those who encourage your truth, not those who demand conformity. The right people do not fear your growth. They celebrate it. A supportive environment nurtures authenticity. The journey is not about becoming someone new, but about returning to what you always were. Like a sculptor removing marble to reveal the statue, life peels away conditioning until your true form shines. You are not building yourself, you are revealing yourself. Self-trust is vital. Without it, you hesitate, doubt, and sabotage your path. Trusting yourself means believing that even when you stumble, you will rise. It means knowing that your intuition is wiser than fear. Forgiveness is part of becoming whole. Forgiving those who tried to mold you into something you are not, and forgiving yourself for abandoning your truth in the past. Forgiveness dissolves chains so you can move freely into authenticity. Joy is a compass. The activities that bring you alive point toward your true self. Joy is not frivolous, it is guidance. The things that light your spirit are not distractions. They are signals of alignment with who you are meant to be. To become your true self, you must take risks. The risk of failure, the risk of rejection, the risk of the unknown. But safety rarely leads to authenticity. Risk is the price of freedom, and every step outside the comfort zone brings you closer to truth. Authenticity is not about isolation, but contribution. Who you truly are contains gifts meant for the world. Suppressing them deprives others as much as it deprives you. Becoming yourself is an act of service, offering your unique light to the collective. The journey requires letting go of false identities. Roles imposed by family, society, or fear may feel safe, but suffocate the soul. To shed them is uncomfortable, yet it is the only way to breathe freely as your true self. Clarity emerges through action. Waiting endlessly for certainty delays becoming. The path clarifies itself only when you walk it. Each step reveals the next, proving that motion is the key to discovery. The body also speaks truth. When you are aligned, your energy feels lighter, your breath deeper, your posture stronger. When misaligned, the body feels tense, heavy, and drained. Listening to the body helps guide you toward authenticity. Creativity is part of becoming. You are not meant to simply survive, but to create ideas, beauty, solutions, love. Creativity expresses the divine within you. When you deny it, you deny part of your identity. Your true self does not fear solitude. Alone, you meet the deepest parts of yourself. Solitude is not loneliness, but intimacy with your own spirit. Those who fear being alone often fear meeting their truth. Becoming requires courage to walk against the current. Society rewards conformity and punishes difference. But every great soul who lived authentically, prophets, poets, revolutionaries, chose truth over approval. You are called to the same courage. The process is not linear. At times you will feel deeply aligned, other times lost. These fluctuations do not mean failure. They are simply part of the unfolding, teaching you resilience and flexibility as you grow. Your true self is revealed in integrity. Doing what you know is right, even when it is hard, builds authenticity. Each act of integrity strengthens your alignment with the person you were born to be. The past does not define you. Many carry old mistakes as proof of unworthiness. But mistakes are chapters, not the entire book. Becoming who you were meant to be means letting the past educate you without imprisoning you. Curiosity leads the way. Asking questions, exploring, trying new paths. These acts reconnect you to your authentic desires. Curiosity is the spark that keeps you open to discovery, guiding you toward your destiny. Becoming yourself requires humility. It is not about ego or superiority, but about aligning with truth. Authenticity is quiet strength, rooted in honesty, not in performance. Humility allows growth without the burden of pride. Love is the core of authenticity. To love yourself enough to honor your truth, and to love others enough to share it. Love dissolves fear, breaks chains, and opens the path to becoming fully alive. Every person has a unique frequency, a vibration that only they can carry. When you live authentically, your frequency resonates powerfully with the world. When you suppress yourself, the song of your soul goes unheard. Becoming who you were meant to be is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding. Each season brings deeper alignment. Each challenge strips away another false layer. The journey never ends because authenticity is infinite. The universe supports authenticity. When you step into your true self, doors open, synchronicities appear, and opportunities align. Life flows with greater ease because you are no longer resisting your own design. The final truth is this: you were never meant to be ordinary. You were meant to embody a unique expression of the universe, a truth no one else can replicate. Becoming who you were meant to be is not selfish. It is sacred. It is the highest gift you can offer the world. The journey to becoming who you were meant to be is not about chasing someone else's version of success. It is about tuning into the quiet voice within that knows your path. Too often, people exhaust themselves running after borrowed dreams only to feel empty when they arrive. Fulfillment comes only when you pursue your own. Every authentic life begins with a choice, the choice to stop pretending. Pretending to be happy when you are not, pretending to agree when you disagree, pretending to fit when you feel out of place. The moment you decide to stop pretending is the moment your real life begins. Becoming yourself requires embracing vulnerability. Authenticity exposes you to rejection, but it also connects you to true belonging. When you are real, some will leave, but those who remain will love you for who you are, not for the mask you wore. True becoming means letting go of the timeline you thought you had to follow. Life may not unfold in the order you planned, but that does not mean you are behind. The universe does not measure you by speed, but by alignment with truth. You are not a mistake. Too many carry the belief that they are flawed beyond repair, but every wound, every scar, and every detour has prepared you for your unique role. Becoming yourself means realizing that even your brokenness has shaped your beauty. Comparison steals authenticity because it convinces you to copy rather than create. When you live in imitation, your light dims. The world does not need another version of someone else. It needs the original frequency only you can bring. Your calling is written in your passions. The things that ignite your energy, that make time disappear when you do them, are not random. They are clues. Following them, step by step, leads you closer to the life you were designed to live. Becoming requires courage to step away from conformity. The crowd feels safe, but safety is not the same as freedom. Those who change the world rarely walk with the crowd. They walk their own path, often misunderstood at first, honored later. Healing is part of becoming. Old wounds distort your view of yourself, convincing you that you are unworthy. Healing those wounds, through forgiveness, compassion, and self-love, clears the mirror so you can finally see yourself clearly. You cannot step into your true self while carrying constant guilt. Guilt anchors you to the past, replaying mistakes on repeat. Becoming requires acknowledging your errors, learning from them, and then releasing them so you can grow beyond them. Authenticity brings peace. Even if your life is not perfect, when you are aligned with who you are, an inner calm arises. Pretending exhausts you, but living in truth energizes you. Peace is the reward of honesty with yourself. The soul longs for expansion, not stagnation. When you ignore your growth, dissatisfaction festers. When you pursue your evolution, joy follows. Expansion is the natural state of life, and your becoming is a continuation of that universal rhythm. Becoming yourself means aligning actions with values. If you claim honesty but compromise truth, you fracture your soul. Integrity heals the fracture. Living your values consistently creates wholeness, which is the essence of authenticity. Your inner child holds keys to authenticity. Before fear and conditioning, you lived with innocence, curiosity, and boldness. Reconnecting with that childlike essence restores parts of yourself you abandoned to fit into the world's molds. Becoming requires resilience. You will stumble, fail, and be misunderstood, but resilience allows you to rise again. Each time you rise, you step closer to the self who cannot be broken by the opinions of others. The universe whispers through intuition. Ignoring it keeps you stuck. Following it carries you forward. Intuition often defies logic, but it always aligns with truth. Trusting it is part of becoming who you are destined to be. Rest is part of authenticity. A world that glorifies constant hustle convinces you that worth is measured in exhaustion, but rest restores your soul and keeps you aligned. The true self thrives not in burnout, but in balance. Your true self does not compete, it creates. Competition is rooted in scarcity, but authenticity flows from abundance. When you live as yourself, you stop measuring your worth against others and start expressing what only you can offer. Faith fuels becoming. Faith that your path matters. Faith that your struggles serve a purpose. Faith that the universe has equipped you with everything needed to live your truth. Without faith, fear dominates. With faith, destiny unfolds. Becoming requires letting go of roles that suffocate you. You may be playing the good child, the perfect partner, or the loyal employee, while your soul screams for more. Dropping those masks may upset others, but it sets you free. True growth requires discomfort. You cannot become your authentic self while remaining in environments that demand your silence. Sometimes you must step away from familiar places in order to hear your own voice again. The body carries wisdom. Notice how it reacts in different situations. When you are aligned, the body feels light and energized. When you betray yourself, it feels heavy and drained. Listening to the body is listening to the soul's truth. Authenticity thrives on expression. Suppressing your voice, your creativity, or your desires leads to stagnation. Expressing them, even imperfectly, keeps your energy moving and your path clear. Expression is liberation. You are not defined by labels. Society may call you too quiet, too loud, too different, or too much. But labels are opinions, not truths. Becoming means shedding labels until only essence remains, the pure expression of who you are. Becoming yourself requires persistence. The world will test you, tempting you to return to conformity. Each test is an invitation to recommit to your authenticity. The more you choose truth, the stronger your alignment grows. Gratitude strengthens authenticity. When you appreciate your journey, even its difficulties, you stop wishing to be someone else. Gratitude roots you in acceptance of who you are, and from that soil, growth blooms. Love is inseparable from authenticity. To love yourself as you are, to honor your flaws and gifts equally, creates the foundation for becoming. Without self-love, you will always chase approval. With it, you are free to be. Fear of failure often delays becoming. But failure is simply a step in refinement. Every attempt teaches you more about your true path. The only real failure is abandoning your authenticity to satisfy fear. Silence is a teacher. In stillness, the noise of the world fades and the voice of your soul grows clear. If you never slow down, you may never hear it. Silence reveals directions logic cannot. Your becoming is not selfish. When you live as your true self, you inspire others to do the same. Authenticity is contagious. Your courage gives others permission to shed their own masks and step into their truth. Patience with yourself is essential. Growth is not instant. Seeds need seasons. Forgive yourself for progress that feels slow, for setbacks that feel endless. Each moment of patience nurtures the unfolding of your true self. Becoming requires humility to admit when you are lost. Denial prolongs confusion, but humility opens space for guidance. Asking for help, listening to wisdom, and staying open to correction keeps you aligned. Joy signals alignment. When you feel deeply alive, you are near your truth. Do not dismiss joy as trivial. It is a compass pointing to where your authentic self thrives. Following joy is following your destiny. You will lose some relationships when you step into authenticity. Not everyone can accept your truth. This loss is painful but necessary. The ones meant for you will remain, and new connections will form that honor your becoming. Authenticity demands courage in the face of criticism. People will question, doubt, or mock your choices. But their voices do not matter as much as the quiet peace of knowing you are living honestly. Peace outweighs approval. Your true self is expansive. When you live authentically, you notice opportunities you once overlooked, relationships you once ignored, and strengths you once doubted. Expansion is the natural outcome of alignment. Authenticity requires consistency. You cannot dip in and out of truth only when convenient. Living authentically means embodying your values in every space, public and private. Consistency builds integrity, and integrity builds wholeness. The path of becoming never ends. Each stage of life calls forth a deeper version of yourself. What feels authentic today may evolve tomorrow. This is not contradiction, but growth. Authenticity is an ongoing dance with your evolving soul. The ultimate gift of becoming who you were meant to be is freedom. Freedom from masks, from fear, from the weight of others' expectations. Freedom to walk your path fully, to shine without apology, and to live in peace with yourself. Chapter 10. Living the Secret Teachings Daily. The true power of secret teachings is not in hearing them once, but in living them every day. Knowledge without practice fades quickly, but wisdom embodied becomes transformation. To live these truths daily is to weave them into the smallest actions of your life. Living the teachings begins with awareness. Every day, notice the energy you carry, the thoughts you feed, and the words you speak. Awareness reveals whether you are aligned with truth or drifting into old patterns. Without awareness, practice is impossible. Gratitude is one of the simplest ways to embody higher wisdom. By waking each morning and acknowledging what you already have, you align yourself with abundance. Gratitude shifts your vibration, attracting more blessings into your life. Breath is another doorway to daily alignment. Conscious breathing calms the mind and recenters the body. When stress arises, a deep breath reconnects you to presence, reminding you that peace is always available in the now. Living the teachings means practicing presence. Too often, people rush through life on autopilot, but presence turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. Drinking water, walking, or listening becomes meditation when approached with mindfulness. Words carry power, and to live these teachings daily, you must speak carefully. Each word is an affirmation of your reality. Choose words of possibility, kindness, and strength. Over time, language builds the environment your soul inhabits. Living wisdom also means honoring your body. Nourish it with good food, movement, and rest. The body is the vessel through which the soul experiences this life. When cared for, it vibrates higher and aligns with universal flow. Forgiveness is a daily practice, not a one-time act. Resentment blocks energy, while forgiveness keeps the channels clear. Each day, release small irritations before they become heavy chains. Lightness comes through continual release. Discipline is the bridge between knowing and living. It is easy to feel inspired for a moment, harder to build habits around wisdom. Discipline means showing up for meditation, reflection, or gratitude, even when motivation fades. Living the secret teachings daily requires balance. It is not about withdrawing completely from the world, nor about losing yourself in chaos. It is about walking with one foot in spirit and one in matter, present in both realms at once. Service transforms wisdom into impact. Each day offers opportunities to serve, a kind word, a helping hand, a generous act. Living the teachings means recognizing that your growth is not only for you, but for the world around you. Meditation is the heartbeat of practice. Just a few minutes of silence each day strengthens awareness and clears the noise. Meditation grounds you, aligning your energy with higher truths before you step into the busyness of the world. Living these teachings means listening deeply, not only to your own intuition, but to others. Listening without judgment builds connection and compassion. It turns interactions into opportunities for growth and love. Joy is part of daily practice. The secret teachings do not demand a life of constant seriousness. Joy raises vibration and reminds you that the universe is abundant and generous. Laughing, playing, and celebrating are forms of spiritual practice. Living wisdom means choosing love over fear. Fear is a natural visitor, but when you let it control you, you drift from truth. Love guides every choice back to alignment. Each moment asks, will you choose fear or love? Patience is a secret teaching in itself. The universe unfolds in its own timing. By practicing patience daily, you stop forcing outcomes and start trusting the flow. Patience brings peace in waiting and faith in becoming. Living the teachings requires honesty. Be honest with yourself about your motives, desires, and weaknesses. Denial blocks growth. Honesty opens the path to transformation. Daily truthfulness keeps your heart clear and your steps steady. Boundaries are a form of wisdom lived daily. By saying no to what drains you, you say yes to alignment. Protecting your energy ensures that you can embody higher truths without being pulled into constant conflict. Simplicity is a powerful practice. Complexity breeds confusion, while simplicity creates clarity. Living the teachings means reducing excess in possessions, thoughts, and commitments. A simple life is a fertile ground for wisdom. Living daily wisdom means using challenges as teachers. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift turns obstacles into opportunities and ensures that growth happens every single day. Your morning sets the tone for the day. Begin with stillness, gratitude, or intention. The first few minutes shape your vibration, determining whether you move with alignment or distraction. Living the teachings means starting the day consciously. Evenings matter too. Reflection before sleep anchors the day's lessons. Ask yourself, did I live in truth? Did I choose love? Did I act with integrity? These questions turn each day into a chapter of growth. Living the teachings requires trust. Each day brings uncertainty, but trust dissolves fear. Trusting yourself, the process, and the universe keeps you aligned, even when clarity is not immediate. Silence is a practice easily forgotten, but deeply needed. Each day, take a moment of silence. Turn off the noise, pause the rush, and breathe. Silence reconnects you with the eternal truth that flows beneath all activity. Living wisdom means practicing humility. Even as you grow, remember that learning never ends. Approaching each day with humility keeps your mind open, your heart soft, and your spirit teachable. Daily alignment requires consistency. Transformation does not come from grand gestures, but from steady practice. Small acts of truth, repeated daily, build a life of authenticity and peace. Generosity embodies the teachings. When you give freely, not only money, but time, attention, and kindness, you live the truth that abundance expands as it is shared. Daily generosity keeps energy flowing. Living the teachings means aligning thoughts with vision. Do not let your mind wander aimlessly into negativity. Direct it toward what you wish to create. Thought is the blueprint of reality. Use it with care each day. Nature is a daily teacher. Watch the sunrise, feel the wind, or notice the rhythm of trees and rivers. Nature models flow, patience, and presence without words. Living wisdom means reconnecting with the natural world daily. Courage is required every day. Courage to speak truth, to take risks, to stand apart when needed. Living the teachings is not always comfortable, but courage ensures that authenticity grows stronger with each choice. Living wisdom daily means honoring rest as much as work. Productivity has its place, but constant motion burns out the soul. Rest is sacred. It restores alignment and ensures that your energy remains clear. Mindfulness turns routine into ritual. Eating, walking, or working with awareness transforms ordinary acts into spiritual practice. Living the teachings daily means bringing mindfulness into even the smallest actions. Daily living requires resilience. Some days will feel aligned, others scattered. Resilience keeps you returning to practice instead of abandoning it. Each return strengthens your ability to embody wisdom more fully. Love in action is the ultimate daily teaching. It shows in kindness to strangers, patience with loved ones, and compassion for yourself. Every choice rooted in love is an embodiment of the universal truths. Gratitude for challenges may seem difficult, but it is a secret practice of transformation. Each challenge shapes strength and wisdom. By thanking even difficulties, you align with the higher perspective of growth. To live wisdom daily, you must notice synchronicities. Pay attention to patterns, numbers, or messages that appear. These are confirmations that you are aligned. Ignoring them silences guidance. Noticing them amplifies it. Living the teachings is not about perfection, but about returning. When you stray into distraction or fear, return to truth. Each return strengthens alignment. The practice is not about never falling, but always rising back. Faith is practiced daily, not just in moments of crisis. Each small act of trust, stepping forward without certainty, choosing patience, believing in unseen support, is faith in action. Faith lived daily creates miracles. Authenticity must be practiced each day. Speak honestly, act consistently, and honor your values even in small moments. Authenticity is not just a philosophy, but a daily discipline. The final step in living the teachings daily is integration. Do not separate spirituality from daily life. Every meal, conversation, and action is an opportunity to embody wisdom. When lived fully, the secret teachings are no longer separate lessons. They become your way of being. Wisdom is not proven in rare moments of inspiration, but in the choices you make when no one is watching. Daily life tests whether these teachings are simply ideas in your mind or living truths in your heart. Small, unseen acts of honesty, kindness, and patience are where transformation begins. Living the teachings requires remembering that energy precedes matter. Each morning, set your energy before you step into the world. If you begin with chaos, chaos will follow. If you begin with intention and calm, life mirrors that back to you. Your diet of information is just as important as your diet of food. What you read, watch, and listen to shapes your vibration. If you consume fear and negativity daily, your energy will reflect it. Choosing uplifting input is a way of practicing wisdom. Generosity must be woven into your routine. It is not only about grand donations, but small daily acts, a smile, a compliment, a moment of presence. Every gift you offer shifts energy, reminding you that abundance grows as it is shared. Living the teachings daily means checking your motives. Before each action, ask yourself, am I moving from fear or from love? Am I seeking approval or alignment? Honest answers to these questions guide you back to authenticity. Clarity is a daily discipline. When your mind is scattered, confusion takes over. Begin the day by simplifying. Write your priorities, breathe deeply, and focus. Clarity is not found accidentally. It is cultivated deliberately. Living wisdom requires courage to pause. The world glorifies speed, but rushing leads to mistakes and misalignment. Slowing down allows you to act from presence rather than panic, ensuring each decision aligns with your values. Your environment reflects your inner state. A cluttered space often mirrors a cluttered mind. Cleaning and organizing your surroundings daily is not just physical work, but spiritual practice. Order outside creates harmony inside. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom. Without reflection, you repeat mistakes. With reflection, you learn and grow. Taking time each evening to review your choices turns each day into a classroom of universal teachings. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. A single deep meditation once a year cannot compare to a few minutes practiced daily. The secret teachings come alive through rhythm, not through occasional extremes. Living the teachings means respecting cycles. There will be days of energy and days of rest. Forcing productivity during a season of rest creates frustration. Honoring the natural ebb and flow keeps you aligned with universal rhythm. Forgiveness must be practiced moment by moment. Small irritations build into heavy burdens if left unchecked. By forgiving as you go, you prevent bitterness from taking root. Daily release keeps your heart light and your path clear. Awareness of thoughts is critical. Negative spirals can hijack your day if unchecked. Catching them early, replacing them with constructive thoughts, is a form of mental hygiene. Just as you brush your teeth daily, cleanse your mind daily. Living wisdom means being fully present in conversations. Instead of waiting to speak, truly listen. Presence in relationships is one of the most powerful ways to embody universal truth. Others feel seen and connection deepens. Creativity is a daily expression of spirit. Whether through art, writing, problem-solving or play, creativity channels energy into form. Suppressing it creates stagnation. Allowing it, even in small doses, keeps your energy flowing. Gratitude is strongest when specific. Instead of vaguely saying, "I'm thankful," name details: the warmth of your tea, the kindness of a stranger, the breath in your lungs. Specific gratitude sharpens awareness and amplifies joy. Discipline in self-talk is vital. Each day, monitor how you speak to yourself. Harsh, inner words sabotage alignment, while gentle encouragement builds strength. Treat yourself as kindly as you would treat someone you love. Living the teachings means seeing the sacred in the ordinary. Washing dishes, walking to work, or folding clothes can be infused with mindfulness. When approached with presence, even mundane tasks become acts of meditation. Rest is not laziness, it is wisdom. Daily rest, whether through sleep, silence, or stillness, restores alignment. A tired mind cannot live truth. Rest ensures your energy remains high enough to embody universal principles. Patience with others is part of daily living. Not everyone moves at your pace or shares your awareness. Practicing patience honors the fact that everyone is walking their own path of becoming. Compassion grows from patience. Mindfulness of speech transforms interactions. Each day, choose words that uplift rather than wound. Words plant seeds in others' hearts, and daily kindness creates ripples of healing far beyond what you can see. Daily practice requires humility. You will stumble, forget, or act from fear at times. Instead of shame, humility allows you to correct course gently. Living wisdom is about returning, not about never failing. Service should become habit, not exception. Ask daily, "How can I serve today?" Service need not be dramatic. Even helping one person feel lighter fulfills the teaching that we are here to uplift each other. Living the teachings means resisting distraction. Each day, the world pulls you toward noise and chaos. Discipline means focusing on what truly matters, protecting your time and attention as sacred resources. Self-love is not indulgence, but responsibility. Caring for your needs daily ensures you have energy to live authentically. Neglecting yourself leads to burnout. Honoring yourself fuels longevity on the path of wisdom. Nature reminds you of alignment. Spending a few minutes outdoors, even just feeling the sun or wind, recalibrates your energy. Daily contact with nature grounds you and reconnects you to universal flow. Daily courage is required to speak truth. Avoiding conflict may seem easier, but dishonesty corrodes the soul. Each time you speak truth kindly and clearly, you strengthen your authenticity. Living wisdom means seeing setbacks as sacred. Each difficulty carries a lesson, and daily reflection uncovers it. By reframing setbacks as opportunities, you live aligned even in hardship. Faith is lived in the ordinary. It shows up when you trust a delay, when you remain calm during uncertainty, when you believe tomorrow can bring better. Faith is not reserved for miracles. It is practiced daily in small ways. Your rituals anchor you. Whether journaling, meditation, prayer, or breathwork, rituals root you in alignment. Practiced daily, they create stability, keeping you centered when life grows chaotic. Discipline with consumption extends beyond food. Monitor what you consume digitally. Endless scrolling, toxic news, or gossip poison the mind. Choosing uplifting input daily is living wisdom through discernment. Authenticity is a daily practice. Each time you act in a way that reflects your values, you reinforce your true self. Compromise weakens alignment. Authenticity strengthens it. Living truth is not occasional but continuous. Daily living means practicing openness. Do not close your heart after hurt, nor your mind after failure. Openness invites growth. Each day, approach life as a student, willing to learn what the universe teaches. Joy in small things strengthens alignment. Smiling at a stranger, enjoying a warm drink, dancing to music. These simple joys elevate your vibration, making you magnetic to greater blessings. Resilience is a daily muscle. Some mornings you will feel heavy, but resilience pushes you forward anyway. By rising each day with determination, you prove to yourself that setbacks do not define you. Daily gratitude for relationships transforms them. Instead of focusing on flaws, appreciate the presence of others. Gratitude softens conflict, heals wounds, and deepens love. Relationships flourish when watered daily with thankfulness. Living wisdom means practicing detachment. Each day, remind yourself, outcomes are not yours to control fully. Act with intention, but release the results. Detachment frees you from anxiety and aligns you with flow. Presence with yourself is as important as presence with others. Take time each day to check in. How do I feel? What do I need? Ignoring yourself is misalignment. Honoring yourself restores truth. The final key to daily practice is integration. Do not separate spiritual life from ordinary life. Bring wisdom into your work, your home, your relationships, your rest. When lived daily, the secret teachings cease to be secrets. They become your way of being. From the very first moment, you were searching for answers, perhaps only curious, perhaps deeply restless, wondering if life could be more than what you see each day. Now you know, the universe is not random. It is built on laws, frequencies, and teachings that most never uncover. You've learned that your reality does not change by chance. It changes by alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions vibrate in harmony with the universe itself. You've discovered that the subconscious mind is not a weakness, but the most powerful instrument you have, rewriting patterns while you sleep, shaping who you become without effort. But here lies the truth. Knowledge alone does not transform you. Action does. Awareness does. Living these teachings every single day does. When you speak, your words carry power. When you think, your energy commands reality. And when you choose, the universe responds. So, take these secret teachings with you. Don't let them remain words in your ears. Let them become practices in your life. Quiet your mind, reprogram your beliefs, and step forward as the person you were always meant to be. Because the universe is not waiting, it is already listening. And as you leave this journey, remember, the greatest secret is not hidden in the stars, nor buried in ancient texts. The greatest secret has always been within you. All you have to do is awaken it.